One, two, three, sound check. Okay, this side looks good. Stream is up and running. It's also showing on the green, and we should be up. We should be all well and set up. Alright, welcome everybody. Welcome to this live stream. I hope you guys are doing well and you are enjoying the weekend much more than I am because I have like a huge party, like a celebration happening in my neighborhood, and it was going up from Friday till today, and they did some concerts, fireworks and so on, and it's all very good, but it's been up until 4:30 in the morning. So yeah, I didn't get a lot of sleep today, but I'm feeling good regardless. So yeah, I hope your weekend is a little bit calmer and a little bit more silent than mine is. I'm very excited for today's flight. We are going into the Faroe Islands. We're flying to Vagar or something like that. But anyways, we're going to that place, and I'm very excited because this place didn't have a patch for the runway. So every time you would fly there, you could apply the flattened runway, but it would essentially flatten the entire terrain around the airfield, and that would not look very good, to be fair. So somebody created a patch and also a scenery, which I had the time to download, because later this scenery was deleted from the forums because it was an improvement from the TGS. There was a guy who did a bunch of sceneries, and essentially his scenery was used as a base, and so that's supposedly not authorized. So the scenery got taken down, but I still used the patch to create the ortho, so I'm very happy, and I'm sharing the ortho that I will be using for Faroe Islands with you here. So it's only the tile for the airport because map enhancement can draw the entire island. So if you're only using Ortho for XP, you will have to generate the island yourself. So yeah, Syncrash Flyer, welcome. You have been waiting for the boarding and you're just in time. We just got a notification here. Swappy became a crew member, actually. This is, I believe, this 3 months. Yeah, 3 months, man. Thank you very much for your support. You are now an avid simmer, so I see you are progressing very nicely through the rankings of the channel. Airfest Airbus, I will be flying from Copenhagen, and by the way, yes, so we're flying from Copenhagen online. Tower is online, I think departure is on as well, which is really cool. So it looks like we're gonna have some traffic. Yesterday there was an event in Copenhagen, but I was so tired I needed to rest, so you know, balance between work, life and so on. So my initial idea was to be streaming yesterday, but that didn't happen. Anyway, that's not a problem, and I'm happy. We are with the Toliss A320, CFM LEAP engines, and of course the KOSP pack and card engine mod. So that's looking great. The livery is on the description, and yeah, I think it's really cool. I actually wanted to fly the CEO, the normal CFM engines, but there is no livery for it, and there is no support for the card mod. So that's all right. Nowhere never. Very nice Toliss time, indeed. And Swappy, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much once again for your support. Willful, great to see you here. How are you doing as well, man? And look at that, Daifuko, hi! If you're tired, just ignore the chat. No, man, I'm not gonna ignore the chat. You guys are awesome, and I love talking to you. So, of course, we're not gonna be ignoring the chat. Anyways, let's jump into the cockpit and start preparing the airplane. And then I'm gonna be looking at a little bit about the weather, because the weather, especially yesterday, when I was trying to do this flight yesterday, because I did the pictures yesterday, the weather was fun, and I believe it's still a little bit fun. Not as bad as it was yesterday, but still. All right, airplane is completely cold and dark. I feel like my FPS is a little bit on the low side, and that's very much probably because we have a bunch of traffic from VATSIM. So I'm eager to get out of here, and probably I'll just lower the cloud quality to medium. You know what, actually, that will not make any difference because it's related to traffic. So parking brake is on, flaps and slats are retracted, weather radar is off, engines are off, throttles are to be on idle, the gear is down, the wipers are off, and we've got battery above 25.5, so starting with that. My sound is a little bit low. Oh, it's... Alright, slightly better now. Arm the emergency lights, no smoking, nav and logo, and I'll let the airplane power up. And while it does that, let's hop into SimBrief and see what do we have in terms of weather, what do we have in terms of fuel situation and all that stuff, because I want to add a little bit of extra. In fact, I've already added a little bit of extra, just because I don't know how the wind is going to be, and I don't know if the weather is going to be actually improving or not. So let's have a look. So we'll be flying Faroe Line 455. Airtime expected to be 2 hours and 9 minutes. Block time 2 hours and 34 minutes. We'll be climbing directly to flow level 380, and I see here the block fuel is going to be 8.8. This sounds pretty okay to me so far. Let me get my blue pen. That's probably the QNH. So 8.8 is block fuel, and final reserve plus alternate is 3.3. I'll assume that's 3.4, just for the sake of it. Cost next is going to be 20. Departing off runway 04 right, I think that's the one in use right now, so this seems to be alright. Route is pretty much straightforward, a couple of waypoints, no airways, that sounds nice. So 8.7 here, we'll do 8.8 on the fuel. I'll round this up to 8.8. We did extra, I've added extra 600 kilos right here due to weather, which is going to give us 18 minutes, which I anticipate is going to be the time we're going to need to execute a missed approach. And you will see why I'm doing this in a moment, because I will be looking at the charts. Once we reach cruise altitude, we'll talk about it. Alright, so zero fuel weight expected to be 56.2, departing with 64.8. That's below max landing weight, so we are not overweight. So that's great. Also, my mouse died yesterday, my computer mouse. Basically, the main left click button just stopped working. And that was a little bit annoying, and now I'm using a backup mouse that I use for work trips, which is okay, but it's really not amazing. So sometimes maybe if you see my cursor wiggling a little bit, that's just because I'm not used to using it this much on this screen. Okay, let's watch here. What do we have in terms of weather situation? So right now the wind is 310 at 15 knots, good visibility, no clouds detected, temperature 19, QNH 1029. Jesus Christ, it seems like everywhere I go it's literally high QNH. That's funny. Temporary, we can get 31015 gusting 25. Of course, this is Copenhagen, so it's gonna be gusty. The forecast says basically the same, but ceiling and visibility is gonna be okay. So the only thing here really is the wind. Now regarding our destination, now the cloud ceiling has been improving because it has been broken at 600. Which is not amazing, but broken at 800 is actually great. And remark broken at 10,000, and then wind. Seems like this is a wind report point, maybe like a mountain or somewhere closer to the airport. 2408 variable 190 to 300. So pretty much variable there. But other than that, 10 knots to 0. Seems good. Forecast states good visibility, that's nice. Scattered at 800, broken at 2000, and temperature broken at 8, scattered 2000 TCU. Now the TCU means towering cumulus, so perhaps we could get a little bit of shower and rain. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe maybe we get there and the visibility is actually worse. Like yesterday when I did the screenshots, the ceiling was quite bad, visibility was not amazing, and it was raining, so I'm looking forward to today's flight in a little bit of a better visibility and better cloud layer, just because I want to see the scenery. That island is beautiful. Alright, our destination alternate is Edinburgh, and basically it's looking very good. Few clouds at 4,600. The forecast is fantastic, good visibility, pretty much calm wind, and that's great. So regarding weather forecasts for today, it is pretty calm. We'll be checking our ATIS departure information. It's going to be Alpha, runway U04 right, condition report 666, that means it's great. All parts 100% dry, transition level is 060, wind 310 at 60 knots, variable, visibility 10, no clouds detected, temperature 19.7. QNH 029 and then a couple of tempos there, delivery frequency 119.905 active, and of information Alpha. Now I also checked before the live stream, I checked the arrival information just so I know what's the runway that's been using for arrival, so if something goes wrong with the flight and we need to come back, I know what runway to use. Okay, let's see here. So temporary central line lines and serviceable on taxiway Bravo and intersection taxiway Echo 2 Bravo 2 due to work in progress, taxiway edge lights established, okay, taxiway Echo 2 and Bravo 3 closed due to work in progress. Now this is important actually, so Echo 2, I'm going to take a small note here, Echo 2 and Bravo 3 are closed. In fact, you know what, we have the beautiful Navigraph charts, why not simply use them? So let's see, where's Bravo 3? Bravo 3, I'm just trying to see whether that's going to affect us or not. Bravo 4, Bravo 3. Okay, there is Bravo 3. Echo 2 and Bravo 3. So this one and this one are closed. So let me just do it like that and do it like that so we can remember. No temps. Following taxiway are closed due to work in progress as well. Echo 3 and Echo 4. So these two are also closed. Okay, so that's noted. Let's see the rest of the things. I'm just going to check the right ones. Okay, that's not really significant. What about here? Runway 30, outermost sequence flashing light out of order. Interesting. Okay, seems good. What about the... oops. What about our alternate? Oh, fireworks. Well, that's gonna be probably at night. Yeah, that's pretty much okay. Alright, so in terms of weather situation, looks pretty okay. Let's just check the SIGMATs here. So we've got the jet stream, that's why we're gonna have a little bit more than 1 hour and 55, which I was expecting for the flight. Turbulence, moderate turbulence, flight level 160 to flight level 400. They're closing on the island, and we've got a little bit of icing here with altitude below 10,000 through flight level 240, and of course it comes close to our destination but doesn't really go there, so that's nice. Okay, good. SIGMATs or significant weather is checked. Let's just check the SIGMATs as well. That's turbulence, and that's turbulence, and that's probably associated with the jet stream. Okay, great. I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna put alternates so we can see where can we go. Fantastic. And let's start loading the airplane. Now that we have a pretty good picture of what are we expecting, what are the weights of the airplane, and so on. Now, because I'm doing single pilot and doing both flows, 1029, let's start with the overhead. So that goes on, this goes on. We'll do the CVR test just like that. I know it's not the completely correct way of doing it. We'll do ADIRS to nav. Okay, good. Lights, nav and logo to auto. Cabin pressure, altitude is an auto. We'll do pack flow normal. Fuel pumps off. We'll check the AP already. That's going to be the first officer or the pilot monitoring job. That's all checked. No lights here. Remove this, and maintenance panel looks good. Constraint mode, plan mode, range 40. I want to put this nice and bright. Nice and bright on this side as well. Very good. QNH 1029. There we'll do a very quick oxygen test. It works. Fantastic. Let's do a recall here. Everything seems normal. I don't know why the doors are already closed, but that's fine. Alright, we need to check the engine oil, so let's just come here and power the Theta X so we can see we've got oil. That's good. Power it off. You can also crank the starter button, but that's not exactly the right way to do it. Okay, landing elevation auto, that's good. Power is on and established. We could do a battery test very quickly. Put both batteries off. And then on. Below 60 amps and decreasing. Good. Hydraulics seems good. Fuel right now 7.1. We needed 8.8. Let's do that. And I'll do a quick refueling. So that's done. And also zero fuel weight was 56 something. Let me just grab it really quickly. 56.2. So not a lot of passengers here. 121. And they are on board. Great, so fuel is on and balanced, and because of that we're going to put the seatbelt sign already on and put the fuel pumps on as well. Very, very good. APU is off, of course. Air conditioning seems fine. Doors are fine. That's fine. And everything is good. Cockpit oxygen is nice. Here, auto, off. We'll do 2000 transponding. And we'll start with the init B page. Init A. But first, nav data is correct. Alright, nice. There's a question, guys, for you. How can I do the... Oh, it's the init request. It's here. Let me see. Can I go... So I do like this. No, it... Oh, I should have done the other way around. Well, rip. And now I'm just gonna have to do it manually. That's alright. Alright, Echo Golf, Papa Hotel, Edinburgh. We are Foxtrot Lima India 455. Cost index 20. Cruise level 380 with a temperature of -58. That is set, and I can now even set the other page as well. 56.3. I will take 56.3 with a CG of 31.4. Block fuel 8.8. That's set, and flight plan departure runway 04 right. And then we're gonna get going. Swappy, got to Toliss A330 and rotate MD-11 passenger variant in this sale. Wow, congratulations! Those are two very nice purchases. Those are great planes. The 777 more than the MD-11, but that's just my I don't like the MD-11, and so any plane is gonna be above the MD-11 for me. But I respect it, so congratulations and enjoy both planes. So Golga to Amsev, and you were saying, thinking about whether to get the Toliss A320CEO, considering I having the 319 and 321 too. Do you have the Neo, the A320NEO? So just the Neo. So then to Gunpam, and then we finally fly to Robur, which is basically initial approach fix for the runway. Alright, I'm gonna start it like this, and we'll wait with the rest of the stuff regarding the approach. Alright, red nav is gonna be auto. We'll do 0 full left here on the progress page. Also, we'll do secondary, copy the active, and I'll go until the end of the star, which is waypoint Golgam, and we'll do a new destination. Arrival ILS 0 full left, no star, and via we'll do Zaki, just because it's from where we're going. Alright, no transition insert, that's done. Very good. So because I found all of that, let's do a takeoff data request and also cross-check here with the takeoff performance. 0 full right, I'll do reset compute. Flex 74, flaps 1 plus F, speeds 41, 41, 44. V1 can be between 14 and 41. Stop margin with the V1 max is 622. Let's check that. So with flex, of course, 41, 41, 43 seems good. I'm going to insert this uplink, which is great. And also, Golga 3 Alpha gives us an initial climb clearance at flight level 70. I forgot to click on align on ref. So that's all set. Let's now go through the flight plan just to make sure that it actually is according to the star and according to what we have planned. Fantastic it is. Alright, very nice, very good. Plane is basically ready, refueled, passengers are on. Can look at the rest of the things now and see. And Swappy, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well. Yeah, I'm a little bit sleepy, but other than that, pretty good. Thank you. Daifuku got the Epic 1000 cruising now, went to VATSIM with it, but chickened out in the end. Oh, Daifuku, how fast can that thing cruise? And also, how much runway does it need? I'm just asking this. I mean, you have a lot of airplanes, a lot of different airplanes, but, you know, Daifuku, I'm planning that little event with you guys to fly in New Zealand with general aviation airplanes and, like, properly clog up a couple of airports. I'd love to see you there. Crash Flyer GPU update, really? Woo-hoo-hoo, that's awesome, man. That is awesome. So, did you end up getting the RTX 5070? Willful, doing great. I really love watching how other people operate their Airbuses in flight sim. Every vid teaches something subtle to use for my own flights. That's very good, man. Also, there's plenty of real world videos as well with people like properly flying real airplanes, and that's very, very nice. A RIP mouse? Yeah. Yes, in Crash Flyer. It worked pretty well. I liked it. It was simple. It was cheap, somewhat. It was like 25, 30 euros maybe. But it was the least... I mean, I had 3 good mouses in my life. I had an Asus one, which I can't remember the name, but it was literally unkillable. I remember once, I think it fell or something. It literally opened. I closed it and it was still working. Also, it literally survived my teenage gaming experience. So, yeah, that was an unbeatable mouse. But it was very expensive. I bought it with a check that we won in my my basic school because we won like a small prize with something related to physics. And so I received a coupon for 120 euros. So I bought a headset and a mouse. And that mouse was like 6 euros. So it was quite expensive for me at the time, but man, it was amazing, like properly amazing mouse. So yeah, then I got a Razer, a very basic Razer, and it was okay, but I didn't really like it because I just felt flimsy, and also the scroll wheel died out very quickly. Like very, very quickly. And then I had this one which was like a Logitech G203 because a bunch of people recommended it. And it worked really nice. I liked the way it was, but like the main click just died. That's the main click button. So yeah, fun. Willful, we have a segment up there. Do you mean in Vagar? Vagar? I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, let's see here. Not the briefing, sorry. I need the... I keep looking for the checklists. Alright. Let's do a very quick cockpit preparation checklist. Gear pins and covers are removed. Fuel quantity 8.8 on board and was balanced. Seatbelt signs are on. The aiders, which I keep forgetting to go here, are on nav. And the barrel ref is 1029 on both sides and rating the same, which is what we want. Okay, good. So let me just check this again. Oh, did we just lose tower? Let me check VATSIM radar. I think we just lost tower, and we lost everybody here in Copenhagen. I'm trying to understand. Yep, we just lost everybody here. Well, alright, that simplifies our things in a certain way. So in that case, I'm gonna start the APU, and we'll jump straight for the briefing. Because why not? I mean, we don't have ATC. I was about to ask for clearance, but if we don't have ATC, we have no clearance. So it's gonna be just my own clearance. Alright, APU is on. Are you guys ready for the departure briefing? I am. Let's go. So we're flying Toliss A320NEO flight, Faroe Line 455 service from Copenhagen to Vagar on the Faroe Islands. The known times are checked. We got a couple of closed taxiways which we marked, so that's alright. The weather is pretty okay. We can expect some gusty wind, but other than that, it's fantastic. Anti-ice should not be required. We'll use the terrain radar on the first officer side, and I'll leave the weather radar on my side. We're parked on stand Alpha 15. We'll be pushing back facing towards the west into Yankee, then taxi via Mike, and I would go like Mike, Bravo, all the way through Bravo 1 for runway 0 full right. The runway's dry, wind was 310 degrees, 15 knots, variable. And we'll be doing a Flex 74 departure, flaps 1 with V-speeds of 41, 41, and 43. We'll be departing via the Golgo 3 Alpha departure, that's on page 10-3 Whiskey, effective from the 28th of November of 2024. Our transition altitude is 5,000, airport is sitting at 17 feet, and MSA for us we can just safely consider as 2,100, it's not a big problem here. After takeoff, remain on tower frequency until 10,000 and contact Kastrup departure. We'll get radar vectoring will normally be provided by Kastrup departure to expedite outbound traffic. Well, of course, right now we'll just follow the SID. When instructed for lineup, squawk assigned transponder code. CPDLC available above flight level 100, including TMA. Crew should log on with Echo Kilo Delta Kilo before takeoff. SIDs include NOSBA procedures. Strict adherence during initial climb is mandatory. We have speed restriction below flight level 070, max 250 knots, so if we don't get any traffic above flight level 070, I would be accelerating. Non-RNAV 1 equipped aircraft not applicable to us will require a minimum climb rating of 6.6% up to flight level 070, to which we comply. Initial climb clearance is flight level 070, and our departure is Golgo 3 Alpha. Track extended runway satellite to Charlie Hotel 840, then Charlie Hotel 841, then Charlie Hotel 842, then to Mirgo, and then to Golgo. Pretty simple. We have a note here. Not available for traffic re-entry. Alternate SID Golgo. Okay, so that's probably a note, but I don't see a note for what. That's going to be it regardless. Radio navs are not required, no special considerations. In case we have a malfunction, below 100 knots will be stopping for anything. Above 80 knots, till V1, only significant failures like engine fire, engine failure, wind shear alert, pilot incapacitation, or anything else that will affect directly the safety of the flight. In which case I'll call reject, but the thrust to idle, apply maximum reverse. Let the auto brake work, otherwise apply maximum manual braking. Stop the aircraft on the runway, set the parking brake. Call cabin crew at stations, advise TTC, and we'll assess the situation. If the failure happens after V1, we're going to continue straight ahead, climbing out, and then we'll keep ourselves over the water. We'll follow initially the outbound departure until Charlie Hotel 841, keeping ourselves over the water, climbing to at least 2,000 feet. And then we'll assess the situation and proceed to return back for an approach, runway 04 left ILS, which I have already prepared here, and it is in our secondary. We're also not overweight, we don't have a takeoff alternate, and I don't see any other considerations. So that's the briefing complete. Any questions, guys? If so, please let me know. Alright, EPU's probably been pairing for 2 minutes, so let's go EPU bleed on, beacon on, and external power off, and go ground services. Disconnect this, disconnect the jetway, lock the cockpit door, and we're going to be calling Pushback.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
There is RFS Airbus on the 737 as Norwegian.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
I should have pushed forward. Alright, that's fine. Okay, well, before start checklist then, parking brake is set, takeoff speed is in thrust. We've got flex 74 with V speeds 141, 141 and 143. Windows are both closed and the beacon is on. Before start checklist is complete. Beautiful. Wolfel, I wonder why do you wait for the bat indication to disappear while aligning the IRS? I've seen a couple of real-world guys doing it. To be fair, that's a nice question I never asked myself. But I believe that is to see if the unit is actually... it's just my opinion, not the right answer. But I would say that this is to confirm that the unit can be powered from the battery in case you have a main electrical failure. Because right now, when you align the IRSs, you are powered from the GPU, right? So if it jumps straight from the GPU but not in the battery, let's say you do have a major electrical failure, and then you lose all IRSs, that's a major problem. So I would assume it's something related to that. Also, we are real weather, real time. Oh look, SAS A350 there. By the way, there's a bunch of traffic here, and just before the stream I saw like, I don't know, maybe 3 private jets. Alright, stand by on that. Let's do the unicom here. And before we're going to be pushing back, this is going to be Yankee into Yankee, yeah. Terminal 2. Let me just check again that there is no traffic. Sorry, there is no oh, there is controller now. What?
Copenhagen traffic, mainline 3 crossing runway 1230 via Alpha and Alpha.
Okay, maybe there is no no, wait, there is traffic. What's going on here? There's center, but it's literally just logged on one. I'm trying to understand. 136555. Let me see, 136555. I'm not sure that he's gonna be controlling that though. Okay, we'll get it ready and we'll start pushing back. Brakes are released, you're clear to push. We're good to go.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Very nice. Timer on. Copenhagen traffic, Faroe Line 455, pushing back from stand Alpha 1, 5 into Yankee. We are good to go. Let's listen to that engine start, because it's quite good on this one. It is quite good. We'll be starting 2 and 1. And starting 2.
Copenhagen traffic, Echen 6175, line up, takeoff line is override.
Wait for it. Watch the fuel flow.
Copenhagen traffic, Nordic 185, pushback and start from 10 Alpha 14.
Ah, that's beautiful. Ignition is off.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brakes are set, starting 1.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
I love this engine start. Wolfwood's the innate request. You can actually do it from the VATSIM page as well. Oh, I had no idea. We need to check that. I need to explore that. Save a little bit of time there. You don't need to from and to, just need innate request and setup sim brief palette in the ID Toliss menu. Yeah, sorry, that was quite dumb. Let's do a disconnect. And 2 is powered. Watch that fuel flow. I love the when it burns the fuel. Listen. Freaking awesome.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Goodbye. Ah, crap. I should have pushed again. Man, you cut me out again. Come on. РФСР вас, пожалуйста, не делай это. Ну ведь теперь я буду тебя просто так ждать. Это ведь нелогично. Скажи, пожалуйста, ты это сделал в прошлый раз. Зачем ты это делаешь опять? Ah, Jesus Christ. Alright, engines avail. We'll do that. We'll do APU off. We'll do that. Flaps 1 and trim required is down 0.1. And signal was received. And let's do a flight control check already. Full up, full down, neutral. Oops, rudder. Aileron full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral. Good. After start checklist. And yes, not required. Status. No status. Pitch trim down 0.1. Rudder trim is neutral. After start checklist is complete. Alright, we're gonna have to wait now, because I can't go. But, yeah. I really don't know why I don't like the MD-11. It doesn't even have a flight engineering panel. Synchronous Fire, I don't like this plane because, first, I think it's ugly. Second, I somewhat like planes that are efficient in a way that, in the frame of time when they exist, the work they do is I don't know, it's good. I'm not saying
Traffic, Nordic 185, to holding point runway 04 right, where Yankee is go Alpha 9er.
that I mean, not to say that it didn't do a proper job, but I don't know. And also the safety of the airplane had too many accidents, and the design is not amazing. Like, it has a bunch of things, so yeah. Alright, let's run. Brakes are released. And we'll start moving. Do a little brake test here. Brakes are checked. Pressure 0. Good. We already did the flight control test. No, that's not the button. Ah, I have to hold it, okay. I had a button for the tiller disconnect, but yeah. Copenhagen traffic, Faroe Islands 455, taxiing via Yankee, and then Bravo for Bravo 1, holding point 104 right, Copenhagen traffic. Swap, I already have the 777, why don't you like the MD-11? Yeah, kinda like that. I don't think it's... I don't know, I don't like it. It doesn't seem like a good airplane to me. Clear left. Clear right. Alright, let's do terrain radar on the first officer side. Range 40 arc constraint mode on as well. And let's wait until we get towards the long straight to power up the weather radar and so on. Alright, Alpha is here on the right, and we'll go all the way till Bravo. РФ сервис без проблем. Я, кстати, должен был на самом деле просто перед тобой встать. Я что-то тупанул, поэтому... Ладно, мы оба хороши. Daifuku, 330 through airspeed. Ooh, that is fast. Wow. That is proper fast. Synchro, yep, it will be the 5070 Ti. Okay. Congratulations, man. That's a good card. Clear left, clear right. This should be Delta. Yep. And I want to go towards Bravo so I don't have to cross the other runway. Clear left. The next right is ours. Alright, slowing down to 10 knots for the turn. Clear right, clear left. The strobes on. Transponder TAR8 to cross the runway. No one there, no one there. Copenhagen traffic, Faroe Line 455, crossing runway 3012 at Bravo. Copenhagen traffic. Let's get a move on.
Copenhagen traffic, North 185 correct. So, taxi to holding point runway 04 right via Alpha Echo 2 Bravo, Bravo 3.
Transponder transponding. Copenhagen traffic, Faroe Line 455, runway 1230 vacated. Alright, let's do weather radar on. Transponder reset, auto brake max goes to on. Takeoff config checked. Clear right, clear left. Why am I being pushed constantly to the right? The controls seem to be aligned. Taxi checklist. Flight controls were checked. Flap setting got config 1+F. Radar and protecting wind shear on and auto. Mode selector is normal and eco memo takeoff no blue. Taxi checklist is complete. Oh, I think we're gonna pass him. So that's Bravo 4. Oh boy. 136555.
649, hold position, have opposite traffic ahead, not in contact with me. He is taxiing to the wrong runway, so please hold your position. Hold position, 649.
And that's center. Copenhagen Center, very good evening. Faroe Line 455, taxiing via Bravo to Bravo 1, holding point 04 right.
Hello, Faroe Line 455, Copenhagen Control, taxi to holding point 04 right, QNH 1029.
Taxi to holding point 04 right, QNH 1029, Faroe Line 455.
Skin limit 1678, turn right, heading 320 degrees.
That was quick.
320 degrees, skin limit 1678. 1678, descend to altitude 3000 feet, QNH 1029. Descending 3000.
Haha, nice picture.
Letter 3551, turn right, heading 300 degrees.
Wait, I want to take another picture like that.
3551. 455 clearance.
Go ahead for Faroe Line 455.
Faroe Line 455, information Charlie, clear to Vaga, follow Golga 3 Alpha departure, runway 04 right, squawk 5016.
There to Vagar via the Golga 3 Alpha departure, squawk 4016, and information Charlie's on board. Faroe Line 455.
It's gonna leave at 1678, turn right heading 070.
Alright, 470 is on same departure. New information for the
1678. 1678, reduce your speed 200 knots or less. 200 knots or less.
information Charlie.
Line 455, squawk 5016.
5016. Squawk 5016, Faroe Line 455.
Line 455, readback correct. F1's 375, contact Sweden, control 127, decimal 755.
Alright, slowing down here into Bravo 1.
755, have a good day. Thank you. Northern correction red, now 3551, turn right heading 010, clear ILS on the 04 left. 010, clear for the ILS, 04 left, red now 3551. Red now 3551, maintain 180 knots of grade until 60 ME. 18 until 60 ME, 3551. Skin limit 1678 due to your speed. Cancel approach clearance. Turn left heading 310. 310. Skin limit 1678. Contact to Lima Whiskey. Contact to Lima Whiskey, go ahead.
Parking brake set, lights off.
Copenhagen identified. Skin limit 156 Papa. Skin limit 156 Papa. Hello, Skin limit 156 Papa. Copenhagen control identified.
The Epic needs like a 3000.
5 Alpha arrival.
Needs a 3000 runway for a legal comfortable approach. Oh, okay. Well, that's fast. You need to post some pictures. It's not a plane I'm really familiar with. Aviator, how are you? Have a good flight, guys. See ya. РФСР вас. Да не волнуйся ты. Давай это, исправляй просто и вперед. Чё ж ты так? Нет, ты не боись. Faroe Line 455, go ahead.
Faroe Line 455, runway 04 right, clear for takeoff, 310 degrees, 14 knots.
Runway 04 right, clear for takeoff, Faroe Line 455.
Skin 1678,
Second crew seats for departure. As the bank's off.
Left 070 degrees and
Alright, clear right, clear left, lineup checklist, takeoff runway 04 right, confirm TCAS TARA, pack 102 off, lineup checklist is complete. Are you guys ready? Let's do a roller.
196 Copenhagen control, squawk 4722. 4722. Copenhagen control, good day, Vision 676, flight level 310, speed is 0.73. Hello, it's 676 Copenhagen control identified.
50%. Chrono on, stable. Command flag 74 SRS runway, auto thrust blue. Oh, lovely sound. Thrust set.
Hello, speedbird 774.
Speed alive.
Copenhagen control, squawk 0425. 0465, speedbird 7.
There's 100 knots.
Red 3551, runway 04 left, clear to land, 310 degrees, 14 knots. Clear to land, 04 left, nose 3551. Scandinavian 156,
They want to rotate.
proceed back to Bodik. Check the Bodik, it's Scandinavian 156 Papa. EC25,
Plus 5,
contact
you're up.
Bremen radar 126,
Nav.
325.
Bremen radar 126-325 easy.
Conda 8 Papa Tango. Conda 8 Papa Tango. Conda 8 Papa Tango, stop climb flight level 340, that will be your
Beautiful.
final level. Conda 8 Papa Tango, stop climb 340, final, thank you. Contact 196, climb flight level 280, direct to Bluefer.
280, direct Bluefer, copy.
AP1. Trust, climb, climb. Auto trust. Back one on.
Killer 1252, direct Bluefer.
Copenhagen Center, Fairline 455, airborne passing 2,500.
Fairline 455, Copenhagen control identified. Climb on restricted flight level 190.
Unrestricted flight level 190, Fairline 455.
Ryan
Open
64
climb.
Charlie, taxi stand Foxtrot 5, via Foxtrot, Yankee, Romeo and Whiskey.
S speed, flaps 0, raise armed, lights off, pack
Nordic 1 Golf
2
uniform,
on.
contact Bremen radar 126, decimal 325.
Bremen 126, 325, Nordic 1 Golf uniform, Malmö.
Tack ska du ha, detsamma.
That was a beautiful departure.
SB Bird 776 Foxtrot, squawk 0425. 0425.
РФ-Вас напутал очень сильно, боюсь, что меня диспетчер загрызет, так базовую ФРО знаю, лучше от греха подальше отключить, в следующий раз еще раз здесь эту призму. РФ-Вас, реально, не волнуйся, все нормально, не бойся учиться, все будет хорошо.
Scandinavian 156 Papa, descent to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1029.
Secretary, are you allowed to talk about the Chieftain? It looks nice so far. I think so. I'm authorized to post pictures. Position altitude.
Right at 350, go.
QNH 113 set.
Right at 350, go ahead. Right at
Yeah, after
350,
takeoff
44
checklist.
level.
320, I had a problem with the autopilot, but I'm going back to 320.
Roger. Totavi 196, climb flight level 360.
So, regarding the Chieftain, what can I say? I think it's gonna be a marvelous airplane. I love the cockpit. I love the way it flies. Is it ready to be published? No. It still has some things to be published, to be polished. So it will take a little bit of time. Still a couple of bugs, still a couple of systems that are not completely, well, they're not completely, let's say, ready, to say.
Wings 2 Papa Charlie, Copenhagen Control, good evening, squawk 7676.
But yeah, it's gonna be an awesome airplane.
Squawk 7676 for your wings 2 Papa Charlie.
Can you send more pictures? Oh yeah, of course.
Scandinavian 216, contact Bremen
I will do. There's 10,000 feet, let's do lights off. And let's switch this
Better
on.
3551, taxi via LF, course 1012, hold short taxiway Zulu.
And I'll probably do seatbelt sign off. The weather is beautiful.
Scandinavian 1678, runway 04 left, clear to land, 320 degrees, 13 knots. 04 left, clear to land, Scandinavian 1678.
Everything seems so far great. But yeah. Wolf, don't forget to clear your VORs and copy active from the secondary flight plan from your MCD. Yeah, I usually do that once I go, I pass completely the departure point, or I get to cruise altitude, so. Right now we're still within range to come back very quickly, so if I clear it now, I'd essentially have twice the work. I mean, we're 5 minutes away from the airport. So I would say, at least for me, I would wait a little bit more. And then go. This flight actually would be very painful to fly in real life because we would get the sun right in our faces, probably most of the flight, and that is not fun. So yeah, but it's alright. And Guilherme, thank you very much for that, for joining the channel. Welcome. Enjoy the flight. Thank you for subscribing. Beautiful. I'll talk a little bit more about the Chieftain once we get out of this controlled airspace, because the radio chat is quite intense right now.
Fairline 455, climb to flight level 280.
Fairline, correction, climb to 280, Fairline 455. 280 is blue. And seatbelt sign please on unless you have a pitch up angle of 7.5 or less. Well, it's below 7.5 right now.
Taxiing via Alpha, holding short of Zulu across 1312. Red 3551, taxi stand Alpha 17 via taxiway Alpha and Jet, correction via Alpha and Yankee. Alpha Yankee to Alpha 17, red nose 3551.
Lovely weather. Plane is doing very good. Temps are nice, fuel is nice. We departed with 8.8. Need to remember that. Diversion fuel is 3.4 to Edinburgh. Outside view. I really like the way this livery looks also. I think it's really beautiful.
Challenger 650 with information Charlie. I would send a DCL request, but things are messages that I go to pick it up because I can see it was sent by you and hoping. So we're ready to copy our clearance to Oslo.
Is this default scenery?
Craft midnight, 3 Copenhagen control, information Delta and force, QNH 1029er. Cleared to Oslo, follow radar 4, correction, radar 4 Alpha departure.
Did I not enable... Okay, no I did, it just looks like that. Okay, I guess this is good for default screen.
Alpha departure, runway 04 right, and we will escort me 0452 and pick up information at Delta, midnight 3, all correct.
And Wolf, I never heard anybody mentioning a 7.5 degrees nose up for seatbelt sign on. It makes sense, but I never heard it. Usually it's like 10,000 feet. Shall we take the seatbelt sign on further? Because there is, I don't know, weather, turbulence, whatnot. Or we just switch it off.
Flight level 290 at 350. Which 676 when ready to descend to flight level 290 so as to reach flight level 200 in 10 minutes.
Oh.
Descent flight level 290, descent 76.
I just set vertical speed.
Skinny 1678, taxi stand Bravo 4 by Alpha.
That's
Yankee
an interesting one.
Course 1012. Bravo 4 via Alpha Yankee Mike and across 1112. Skinny 156 Bravo, runway 04 left, clear to land, 320 release 13 knots, long rollout approved. And for the left, Skinny 156 Bravo. Condor 8 Papa Tango, contact Payment radar 126, days about 325. 126, 325, Condor 8 Papa Tango, tak, hej hej. Hej, selv tak. Kilo 1252, contact Bremen radar 126.
Yeah, it's just a rule of thumb, not a checklist item, something. I see. Well, that was completely fine. Went till 10,000. Weather was good, so seatbelt sign off.
Copenhagen Control, Bavaria 6 Romeo Bravo, flight level 270. Bavaria 6 Romeo Bravo, Copenhagen Control, good evening, identified, climb flight level 370.
Flight level 370, Bavaria 6 Romeo Bravo.
Copenhagen Control, hello, Scandinavian 88 Kilo, flight level 3900. Scandinavian 88 Kilo, Copenhagen Control, identified. Bavaria, correction, Bavaria 6 Romeo Bravo, initially stop climb flight level 350.
Stop climb flight level 350, Bavaria 6 Romeo Bravo.
Fairline 455, climb flight level 380, maintain present heading.
Climbing flight level 380, present heading, Faroline 455.
Ryanair 350, descent when ready, flight level 200 to be level.
Alright, heading, flight level 380 blue.
Please stand, flight level 200, Ryanair 350. Copenhagen, good evening, Finnair 1 Bravo Lima, descending flight level 100, flight level 370. Hello, Finnair 1 Bravo Lima, Copenhagen Control identified. Proceed to airport, descent altitude 4,000
This controller is super sharp. Awesome. Sorry I didn't warn you, I was going for the
Finnair 1 Bravo Lima, descent to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1029.
We need to take a couple of screenshots for the landing as well. I'm not a fan of the thumbnail.
676 when ready, descent flight level 200 to be level latest in 8 minutes. Descend flight level 200 is S676. Ryanair 350 report indicated airspeed. 320, Ryanair 350. Ryanair 350 report indicated airspeed.
Indicated.
Copenhagen radar, good afternoon. Lufthansa 455, able to use flight level 340.
Lufthansa 455 heavy, Copenhagen control identified after standby. 455 after Rexme, proceed to Valdi.
After Rexme, proceed to Valdi, Lufthansa 455.
Ryanair 350 report indicated airspeed. I have true airspeed 480 or Mach 786. Roger, and you're indicated.
Copy active. Like the indicator is
Hello, center EC101, flight level 370.
EC101, Copenhagen control identified.
Wolfel, the radio chatter is definitely overwhelming. Yeah,
Scandinavian 76 Hotel, flight level 370, approaching flagship.
absolutely.
Hello, Scandinavian 76 Hotel, Copenhagen.
That's why I'm kind of
control
quiet.
identified.
Once we get back to Unicom, I'll be
Ryanair 350 report your indicated airspeed.
I'll be able to talk again.
328 maybe. That is what is on your display, on your primary flight display. Yes, it's on my primary flight display. Excellent, Ryanair 350, contact Sweden Control 127.755, goodbye. 127.715, Ryanair 350. Negative 127.755.
So I'll wait until the chatter gets to a lower level.
Thank you.
Then we'll talk
We said 676
about the rest.
knots or less.
Have a couple of news as well for you guys.
Finnair 1 Bravo Lima, information Delta, expect ILS runway 04 left. Information Delta, expect runway 04
Once
left.
weather radar off here, airport as well.
Speedbird 776 Foxtrot, contact Sweden Control 127.755. 127.755, Speedbird 776.
United 3 Alpha 3 1 with Delta able Bravo 4, ready for taxi, correction ready for startup, and then we'll be taxi shortly thereafter.
Midnight 3 Roger, startup approved, QNH 1029.
1029 restart, approved mid-entry.
Scandinavian 156 Papa taxi by Alpha, Foxtrot, hold short Zulu, cross runway 12. Alpha Foxtrot, hold, cross.
Signature Fair. Another reason to fly the Concorde, you get out of the airspace you don't like much faster. You cheeky man. You cheeky man. You know, that is a plausible reason, but one day I'll get there.
676, reduce your speed to 60 knots or less.
Actually, isn't the Concorde on sale now? Because we literally got the sale. Literally got the sale yesterday, I think. Right?
KLM 469 whiskey, say again.
KLM 469 whiskey identified. K-Direct to VATSIM.
Yeah, the sale started yesterday. I was looking if there was anything interesting, but I honestly didn't notice. I mean, I didn't look very much. Anybody who's wanting to get the 777, get it now.
Squawking 3465, Fairline 455, resume more navigation, proceed direct to Gunpa.
Direct to Gunpa for line 455.
Bavaria 6, Romeo Bravo,
very good. Direct insert back to nav. And off we go.
Goodbye, Scandinavian 156 Papa, train left on Papa, stand Bravo 7. Left on Papa, stand Bravo 7, Scandinavian.
The Finley 747-200 is on sale as well, but it doesn't really make a lot of difference, because if you have the passenger variant, you get it on sale anyway.
Recycle transponder, squawk 4674. 4674, navigation 45. It says 676 contact Sweden control 127 decimal 755, report speed restriction. Contact 127 decimal 755.
Yeah, it's 2997.
Goodbye, ciao.
I don't know, man. Like, I can get it, maybe. Oh, I'm looking at this engineering panel. It's just terrible. I literally opened the pictures. Jesus Christ. 500 to level.
Cleared to Amsterdam, follow Lango to Alpha departure, runway 04 right, at squawk 753.
63 knots headwind, not cool.
305 Oscar is cleared to Amsterdam, runway 04 right, target to Alpha departure, squawk 7536.
Optimal 371.
Oscar, lead back right.
Not bad.
Line 1 child identified, climb flight level 280. Flight level 30, kilometer 280. Connection, flight level 280, kilometer 91 Charlie.
Manuals. 10 essentials manual, 91 pages. Full manual, 403 pages. Not bad, I have to say. Oh wait, so you have to buy the Siva? You have to buy the Siva? The INS unit? Apart?
Turn left by 5 degrees. Turn left by 5 degrees, Finnair 1 problem.
Okay, reached cruise, 19 minutes. We have 7,300 on the fuel. And we've burned 1,410. So let's see whether those add up. Yes, they do. Fantastic. So no fuel leaks. Systems seem good. Recall is good. Seatbelt sign is off. Sounds nice. Willful. Just found your plane on VATSIM radar and you have a lot of way to go. Maybe the next route should really be on a Concorde. We can actually talk about that a little bit. You'll see why you think that it's too much to go. And Syncrash Flyer just purchased a coffee on the flight. Concord support. Thank you very much, man.
Midnight 3, ready for taxi.
Thank you very much.
Midnight 3, roger. Taxi via taxiway Kilo 2 and runway 12. Hold short taxiway Alpha.
We'll get there eventually.
Taxi via Kilo 2, runway 12, hold short, taxiway Alpha, Midnight 3.
I wonder how much do we have to fly still with the controlled airspace. It shouldn't be much. Probably. Oh yeah. Well, until. He gave me a drag to Gumpa. That's really far off. But I believe that's probably going to be until Amsev, which we passed. Well, we raised it. But if I put Amsev here, I think that's going to be the end of the controlled airspace. 70 miles to go. So like another 10 to 12 minutes probably. I got quiet suddenly. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about the Chieftain now that you asked, Syncrash Flyer. So the Chieftain is going really well. There has been a little bit of delay in the development right now, just because there were some issues with the Scumcraft's updater. So essentially a new updating system was developed just for the Jetstream airplanes, which are really nice. And now they're going to get back into continuing the work. So what has been done so far? Yeah, we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait. We are going to have to wait.
Copenhagen Control, good evening. Boarding 905 Juliet. We request for clearance to Barcelona. We have Delta on board.
Boarding 905 Juliet, Copenhagen Control, good evening. Delta correct, QNH 1029. Cleared to destination. Follow the CMA correction. Follow the Nixon to Alpha departure. Runway 04 right. And squawk 4531.
QNH 1029 next to Alpha departure, runway 04 right, squawk 4531, boarding 905 Juliet.
Midnight 3, taxi to holding point runway 04 right, via Charlie and Bravo.
Charlie and Bravo, holding point runway 04 right for Able Bravo 4, Midnight 3.
Order. Boarding 905 Juliet, read back right. Fractal 612 Bravo, inbound logs to flight level 170 over the floor.
So, what do we have now in terms of weather in our destination? Broken 600 again. Wind 220 at 11, that's good. Good visibility, temperature 10 dew point 8, QNH 1019, so it's probably going to get worse. I'm pretty sure it's going to get worse than this.
Speedway 354, Mio Copenhagen,
no
control, good evening,
forecast.
recycle transponder, squawk 0435.
0435, Speedway
52 miles to go.
Finnair 5 Tango Oscar, ready for push and start. Finnair 5 Tango Oscar, roger, push and start approved, push to Yankee 1. Push and start approved, Yankee 1, Finnair 5 Tango Oscar. Midnight 3, runway 04 right, clear for
We just
takeoff,
fly a tiny bit
20
faster, so we can get out of this airspace quicker, and then I'll get back to managed speed.
Midnight 3, affirm, take Bravo 4.
Yeah, Bravo 4, thank you, Midnight 3.
Finnair 1 Bravo Lima, runway 04 left, clear to land, 320 degrees, 13 knots, long rollout approved. Runway 04 left, clear for takeoff, long rollout approved, Finnair 1 Bravo Lima. Speedway 35, Romeo radar contact. Proceed direct to Torva.
Direct to Speedway 35 Romeo.
Fraction 652 Bravo, information Charlie, enforce how long final do you require?
Nice.
Fraction 652 Bravo, yep, just normal standard 3 miles or something like that. Roger.
Copenhagen good day, Finnair 4 Alpha Zulu, flight number 340.
Station quality again.
So regarding the chieftain, I'll try to talk about it a little bit in the pauses between radio communications. I think it's turning out very well.
Fraction 642 Pro, we have information. Folks.
I love the way the cockpit is. I think it's very nice modeled. It looks very good.
Scandinavian 88 Kilo, contact Sweden control 127.755.
I'm waiting for the rig.
Scandinavian 88 Kilo, contact Sweden control 127.755.
127.755 was Scandinavian 88 Kilo, thank you, bye-bye.
Finnair 4 Alpha Zulu call.
Echo.
Finnair 4 Alpha Zulu, please return to your previous frequency.
Oh, we just got a handoff from Sweden.
I'm sure that's incorrect. You were changed to another sector of Sweden. Please return to your previous frequency.
Okay, ciao.
Ciao.
Copenhagen control is your Alpha Mike, flight level 340, Mountain Mike heading.
You're looking to Alpha Mike, Copenhagen control identified.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. It is gonna be hard. I forgot what is like flying with busy VATSIM. We haven't been flying to Europe that much lately.
Fraction 625 Bravo, descend to flight level 4, zero with no speed restriction.
And I also need to continue our India flights.
Elevation 425 Papa. Good. Elevation 425 Papa, contact by Yemen radar 126.325.
126.325, elevation 425 Papa, bye.
Finnair 1421, when ready, descend flight level 230, level by Miko.
Right, should be close, 30 miles to go.
Descend flight level 230, Finnair 1421.
Correct, sir, be level by Mikos.
I'm sorry, flight level 230 by Mikos.
The fuel consumption though is fantastic, look at that, 950 per engine. It's gonna probably increase now to like 1015, but still it's like 1000 per engine. Yeah, it goes down, wow. It's impressive, like at Mach 79.
2835 Romeo, request away from Cockpit, 2 minutes.
Approved.
Finnair 1 Bravo Lima, vacated at Alpha 6 runway 0 Toliss.
Finnair 1 Bravo Lima, taxiway Alpha, cross runway 12 and hold short of taxiway Zulu.
Say again a bit slower, Finnair 1 Bravo Lima.
Midnight 3, proceed to Veda.
That's the correct thing to do.
Bravo Lima, taxiway Alpha, cross runway 12 and hold short Zulu.
My taxiway Alpha, cross runway 12, holding point Zulu, Finnair 1 Bravo Lima. Finnair 5 Tango Oscar, ready for taxi.
We're going from...
Finnair 5 Tango Oscar, roger, taxiway Mike, Yankee and Delta, hold short runway 12.
Robo.
Mike, Yankee, Delta and hold short of runway 12, Finnair 5 Tango Oscar.
Turn off the radio.
Finnair 1421, just want to
That would be cheating.
Mikos, flight level 230.
No, we're almost there.
Correct, sir.
We're almost there.
Thank you.
I was just looking here at the fuel situation, whether how much fuel do we have. 43 minutes of extra time. I don't think it's going to be that much because of all the stuff that's going to be there, but estimated fuel on board at Vagar says here 4.6 tons. We need 3.4. 1 hour and 5 until Edinburgh for the alternate 2.5. Yeah, but it's 3.4 regardless because of the final reserve. 30 minutes, so 3.5. Actually, the computer says we need 3.5 to get to Edinburgh. So let me round that out. 3.5. 3.5 are the diversion fuel, and it estimates 4.6 on arrival. So essentially we got a ton to play with. That's gonna be half an hour. This is somewhat incorrect. Half an hour to play with. 30 minutes, which is more or less what I have aligned here.
Wooding 905 Juliet, push and start approved, push to Romeo 2, facing south, QNH 1029.
Transponder to 7700. No, that would be bad.
Facing south, push to Romeo 2, Wooding 905 Juliet.
I think that would be bad.
Finnair 1 Bravo Lima, taxi to stand Alpha 15 via Alpha and Yankee.
Taxi Alpha 15 on Alpha and Yankee, Finnair 1 Bravo Lima.
Fairline 455, monitor advisory 122.8, bye-bye.
Over to advisory 122.8, Fairline 455, bye-bye. Yay, we got to silence. So, back to managed speed. And talking about the Chieftain. Okay, so I really like how it's modeled. I think the developer did a fantastic job. The cockpit is very, very cool. It's very comfy. I also like the way that the look out from the cockpit is really nice, and it's also quite different from the other Pipers, so the Seneca and the Seminole. So in fact, I think it's the best cockpit of them all. Also, because it's a larger airplane, you have like extra details, which I'm gonna save for later, of course. But you have extra details. You could do like extra things, like close the curtains, or is that a door? Or maybe it's just sliding curtains. I don't remember whether that's like a door or curtains, but you have that. You have like armrests and all that stuff. It's really cool. The sounds, I think the sounds will need a little bit more polishing on some of the things. And system-wise, right now the plane is still very, very basic. So you have, like, you can make a flight with it, and it works, and all the intended things work, but they are not as deep as it would be on the Seneca or on the Seminole. There are still some missing functions which are going to be added later, like the gear is not fully modeled, and not in the way that the gear is missing, or like there is something very blatant with it. But the gear handle has like 3 positions. It has the down, the neutral, and the up position, very much like a 737. And that is still not completely modeled, so that will have to be done. The POH, so like the window with the menu where you can do the loading and put the weight in the seats, and the center of gravity gets calculated, and fuel and so on, is also already included, and it works. My latest version was not working very nice, but the latest beta or alpha update actually fixed that, and it's been nice. And like the best part of it is the hand flying. The hand flying on the airplane is fantastic. It's very stable. It's really very, very cool to hand fly. Also, the speed that thing can go, which is very cool, because oh, look, did you see that? And there he goes. The speed that it flies as well, that is also something very quick, very cool, because I was missing an airplane that would be larger than a normal general aviation airplane, like a Cessna, a Cirrus, a Baron, or whatnot, but at the same time it would not be as huge as an airliner, so it would allow you to fly to certain smaller airports, like gravel strips and so on, while still carrying passengers. And in X-Plane 11 we had the Metroliner, which was great, but it is not supported for X-Plane 12, which is a shame. And in X-Plane 12 we have the amazing freeware, the King Air C90B. But if you want something a little bit larger than the C90B, then you kind of like stuck to the King Air 350 or something else. And still, all of those are turboprop, so if you want something piston-like, you either have like a DC-3, which is a bit huge and old, and you don't have anything like which fits in the middle. So I believe it's a really, really cool airplane that will fill a missing spot in the X-plane airplane scenario, which is great. And what else? I mean, yeah, it's integrated with the GTN 750 from TDS, which is an absolutely fantastic plugin. I don't know, it's really good. Like, you start that airplane, you will have to read the manual, of course. It will also have the oil simulation. You will be able to refuel the airplane as well manually, so you can literally go there and fill the tanks. And because it has 2 tanks per wing, you can actually pick up which tank are you going to be using, which is very nice. It has the oxygen system as well. It has the passengers on, and I don't remember, but I think there was mentioned different cabin configurations. I'm not sure, but I think that it was mentioned somewhere on the Discord. Everything that I said is actually on the Discord, basically, and I'm just mixing it up with my experiences. And my experiences is that this airplane is really, really good. Every time I pick it up to test it a little bit, do a couple of circuits, or just try to burn the engines or something else, just see if I can create a bug, my feeling is that, wow, okay, this is really good. I like how it flies, I like how it works. I think it's a neat airplane, and I'm looking forward to releasing it. In fact, I will have a couple, I mean, not me releasing it, of course, but they releasing it. And I have a couple of ideas to make, like a release stream, which I've been talking about with Captain Iceman, and I think that's going to be happening. So we'll see. We should be able to see another plane here any moment, but I feel like I missed it. It's 1,000 feet below, and already passed us. So yeah, it's really nice. Synchrofighter, does it has auto fuel tank selection? No, you have to do it yourself. So you have like on the floor you have 2 fuel selectors, 1 for each engine, and you can either select it to the outer engine, or towards the inner engine, or towards the off position, which is the middle one, which is really cool. And also, funny thing, I didn't know this, but then I started reading the manual, but you only have 2 fuel indicators. So you might ask, like, okay, but what is the fuel level on the other tank? And the funny thing is, you have to change the fuel selector to see how much fuel you have in the tank for that, which is really, really cool. Yeah, but it's an easy airplane. It's an easy airplane. It has cowling flaps. It's like, listen, you know, I always say the DC-3 is like a large Cessna, somewhat. It's basically the same principle. So you have a large Cessna with cowling flaps. You have 2 engines, and that's it. A very simple airplane. Also, if you have the Seneca, it's basically like a Seneca, but it's larger. So. And it's sweet. It's so nice to fly. Also, this is funny. I love taxiing with it. I don't know, but it feels great when you are taxiing that airplane. It just feels so stable, and the way you taxi is so cool. I don't know. It's just it's like nice. It's a nice nice airplane. You guys are gonna love it. Sounds like the Tupolev 154 fuel gauge. Maybe. I have no idea. I have no idea. Now, also, a couple of updates regarding my flight training. So, you guys know I completed my CPL exam like 2 weeks ago, basically. This week, I gave my first proper class lessons, which were awesome. I gave was performance as a subject, PPL. So for private pilot's license, performance subject. I think it went well. I still have some things to improve, but overall It was really cool. The students there were also very, very nice. They had a very nice level and they were very focused, which is also great and made things very easy because we advanced very quickly, much faster than I was anticipating, which is great, to be fair. And then we got, and last lesson was basically just practicing. We were just basically doing exercises. So that was good. That was very, very nice. And I have the MCC. That was the last step towards obtaining my airline transport pilot's license. So for the MCC, I've been talking with a flight school, or it's an academy. It's called Simnest, and it's in Budapest in Hungary. And I've been talking with them for a little bit already. And I finally sent all my documentation, and they've opened their training materials, so I can start studying, which is fantastic. And I'll be doing it on the A320, so the MCC will be on an A320, so probably the next streams that I'll have, they're all going to be on the A320, so I'll get a little bit more familiar with the airplane and also try to practice some of those procedures that they will have there, because they use procedures from a certain pink airline in Europe, because, well, they are in Hungary, right? And so perhaps there will be some changes from the procedures that I'm more used to, because the ones I use are kind of like standard Airbus ones, mixed with some of my own things or stuff that I saw online. So I'll have to learn that, and I'm very excited, to be fair. I'm extremely excited. I think it's going to be really, really cool and a very, very cool experience. So yeah. And the Concorde, well, I was looking at the Concorde right here, and the problem is, like, it doesn't have GPS, obviously, because it's from a different era, but the SIVA INS system, so the INS system, the only thing you can get close to a GPS, it says here, compatible, so optional add-on by Philip Ringler. So this means I'll have to purchase this separately, and to be fair, I don't really want to do it. So I don't know. Maybe someday I'll get there. It seems like an impressive airplane, but it's just too complex for me right now. I have other priorities, but we'll get there. One thing I will tell you for sure, I've been testing this airplane right here, which kind of went unnoticed initially when it was released. And I must admit, this price right here is perfect for this airplane. I've been talking with the developer, and I've been giving feedback on some of the things that were not working or missing or incorrect or something else, and they basically fixed everything. And this airplane flies extremely well hand flying. In fact, it's probably, I really like, you guys know, I really like the Cirrus, the SR22 with the reality expansion pack. And it was kind of like one of the best, probably one of the best, like, hand-flown feelings, and really easy hand-flown feelings. Then you would add the Robin, the DR401, which is freeware, of course. But then in terms of payware, I think this one fits like very high up there. I love the way this airplane flies. It's such nice balance. You will have to play a little bit with the curves to have it stabilized. But I'm very impressed with this airplane. It's a little bit heavy on FPS, especially if you use the TDS GTN XI. But if you use the default GPS, it's actually fairly okay. And it's not incredible in terms of texturing of the cockpit, but it's good. It's just fine, and the outside is really, really good. And with the reality expansion pack of integration, of course, it's also very, very nice. So if you're looking for a new airplane that is a piston, single engine, flies fast, like a Cirrus level of fast, but it's not extremely small, consider this one. This is really cool. But yeah, I need to check if there's anything here interesting. I don't really think I'll be purchasing anything right now because I'm waiting for the VATSIM 737-200. That is an airplane I'll be getting. Oh, okay, of course, if you have the 330NEO, this is a mandatory sound pack for you. It's basically the best A330 sound pack from Soundbox Studios. Highly, highly, highly recommended. A very, very good sound pack. And now I have to look for the rest of the things, basically. Of course, 777, if you want a proper 777 experience, but other than that, I'll be looking for what's next. Synchronous Flyer, that's cool. Also, A320 flight to Hakodate, and I made a cool ANA livery for it. Oh, I see. That's a very like innocent suggestion from you, right? Synchronous Flyer, no, you have one included. It's good. I don't use third-party INS. Oh, okay. So it has an INS then. All right. Okay, well then, I'll maybe consider it, but not at this point. Not at this point, because I'm really looking forward to the VATSIM 737-200. I want to do the milk run with that airplane, like the full milk run. It's gonna be crazy, but it's gonna be very cool. And I want to do Southwest ops with it. I want to do Ryanair ops with it. The Ryanair ops are gonna be a little bit difficult though, but still. I want to do cargo hops. I want to go to the gravel runways. I want to do so much with that airplane. I think it's going to be so cool. And the Concorde, like the amount of stuff I have to learn for the 737 is going to be very minimal because it's basically a modern 737 with very minimal differences. Well, because Boeing made it like that, right? So overhead, it's almost basically the same. Instrumentation. It's basically the same. The only differences are going to be probably a little bit on the overhead. The autopilot is going to be different. There is no auto throttle. I will have to learn the UNS FMC, which is again probably not that difficult anyway. And that's kind of it. That's like kind of it. So yeah, I'm very looking forward to that airplane. I think it's gonna be great. And get the PAE Bonanza, because that's a cool plane. Alright, I feel like we're passing Norway here. Looking at the terrain. Looking at the terrain, that's gonna be it. And well, we've been 47 minutes into the flight, and I want to talk about something that Wilful said, that he found me on VATSIM radar and you have a lot of way to go. Maybe the next stream should be really on Concorde. And what he said is partially correct, but it's mostly incorrect. And if we look at the VATSIM radar, we've been up for 48 minutes, right? So 48 minutes, we should have been almost mid-flight, right? Because the flight time is 2 hours and 9 or 6, so 1 hour should be right there. And of course we're almost mid-flight, but mid-flight is somewhere along here. And in 10 minutes we're not going to reach there. So what is the thing with the distance perception right here? We always need to remind, and this is very important especially when flying very much towards the north or towards the south, depending on the type of map projection. The map we're seeing here on VATSIM radar, I can't remember the name, but I think it's called conical projection. And you guys need to understand, in order for you to understand what's happening here, is you need to remember that the Earth is a sphere, right? It's essentially a ball. So how can we show something that's circular on a 2D map, which is what we have here, right? And if you notice, for instance, Greenland right here, it looks huge. In fact, it looks way larger than the entire Europe, as well as here Svalbard Islands, for instance, right? And this is why we look into Russia, and yes, Russia is a huge country still, but it looks even bigger than it really is. And to honestly see, like properly see the size of things, you have to go to a proper projection like Google Earth. Because Google Earth will always project the planet as a sphere, and that will be the correct projection. So, if I go back here, we immediately zoom out and the planet is round, not like VATSIM radar, where it's still 2D, right? So just memorize the size of Greenland compared with Europe for a second, and now I'll try to rotate it properly. Compare the size of Greenland with actual Europe. I mean, there is a significant difference in how this is. So the more northern you go, or the more northerly you go, or southerly you go on 2D map projections, specifically this type, like the one used in VATSIM radar, the more it looks like it's going to be far away while the distance is less. So the scale, like the same scale or the same distance in the map right here, if we would take like 10 centimeters right here and then 10 centimeters right here, 10 centimeters would be more real distance right here than here. Okay, and so if I would, for instance, go from Copenhagen, I don't think I can, oh yeah, I can measure, never mind. So I measure it from Copenhagen from here, so we get a nice straight line. We are about here, which looks further away. Just compare, and just compare how this looks with this. So I hope that explains a tiny bit why you think that it's gonna take much time, while in reality it's not gonna take much time. We're basically right now almost 1 hour to go. We are though experiencing a little bit of wind shear situation here, because the airplane is slowly rocking left and right, which is typical. Explain wind shear. Jet stream, not wind shear. Jet stream behavior. I'm tired. I'm really tired. It's been a long week, and these 2 last nights without proper sleep didn't really help, so apologies for this. Willful, I suppose I will fly that Istanbul to Amsterdam route. Good luck on that long cruise, lad. Yeah, Willful, that's have a nice flight. Actually, you're gonna take more time flying from Istanbul to Amsterdam than I will, even if my route looks longer than yours. It definitely feels longer on the stream. Well, it does. It certainly does. We're almost 1 hour in. I mean, the 79 knots of wind doesn't really help. We could push it a tiny bit faster here to save some time. The max 79, I'll probably do that. We'll just burn probably like 100 to 150 kilos more, but it's gonna be worth it. Wolfo, and yeah, the world map is so deceiving. Yeah, you need to constantly remember that this is a projection of something that's circular or spherical. That would be the most correct way to say. And because of that, it's very different how you perceive the distances depending on where you are. As soon as you step away from the equator, essentially, you are decreasing the real distances for each unit of map distance. And there is a wind farm there. Passing Norway. Passing Norway. What airplane are you going to take, by the way, Wolfo? I guess it's going to be a 777, Turkish Airlines, maybe? Synchrosfire, how much do you drink, Vlad? I actually don't drink at all, like nothing. I just drink water, no alcohol. I can't remember the last time I drank something with alcohol in it. I don't like it. It's the truth, I don't like it. It tastes horribly, it smells horribly, it changes the way you perceive things, and that scares me. So, yeah, I never liked it. So I just drink water and juice, and probably the worst drink I can drink is Coca-Cola. And usually I drink it when I'm not feeling very well, or I need a boost of energy, because I don't drink coffee as well. I don't like it. Again, and also it scares me how people here, like in Portugal where I live, coffee is a normality. So everybody drinks coffee, and it's normal for people to drink coffee in the morning after main dishes. So and even after dinner, so you're preparing to go to sleep almost, and you still drink the coffee. So they drink a lot of coffee here. And I've crossed with a couple of examples of people when they weren't able to drink coffee like they are used to. They would get headaches, and they would get really stressed and really angry and very irritated. And when you see a person's behavior change just because they didn't drink something, I don't know, but that scares me a lot. So yeah. I'll fly an A320 Istanbul ground, just disappeared out of VATSIM. I'm flying this because I'll probably take the same flight IRL in a few months. Oh, cool. Willful, or is it going to be a leisure trip, or it's going to be a work trip, or is it going to be a school trip, or not, or what? Synchrosfire, it could be my Russian brother. We have quite a bit in common. That's awesome. That is awesome, dude. And it's funny. It's funny because I know basically one person that does this, and I'm very rarely with him, of course. He's also a pilot, and he has a company which I work sometimes when there is a big event here in Portugal. So I take the pictures for them. And usually there is like an opening venue where everybody comes in, like all those head of trainings from different airlines and so on, and everybody talks with each other. There's like all the CEOs from different companies, and you know, like there's champagne, wine, all that stuff. So everybody's there with a cup of wine and drinking a little bit. It's not like a drinking party, but it's there, it's present, it's alright. It's like a normal moment. And then there's the two of us with a cup of glass. You know, everybody's like drinking beer or champagne or wine or something else. And then there's us, two guys with a cup of water, just drinking water. And it's really funny because for me, it really stands out. Probably would be even more funny if I would be the only one. But this way we are at least two. It feels a little bit less less pressure on you, you know. My aunt basically lives in the Netherlands. I visit relatives. Oh, good. Willful, that's really awesome when you can do such things. It's really nice. Synchrosfire, just say you were the driver and you have to take everyone home, then nobody will give you a funny look. Yes, and also, you know, this is, now that you say this, it's actually very funny because every time I say this to certain people who don't know me, they usually get very surprised. Like, what do you mean you don't drink? I'm like, no, I don't drink at all, I don't like it. And so every time, and this is like, it's almost clinical, it's almost mathematical how precise this is every time. And it always, like last time this happened, I just said to the person, yes, you're going to stage 2 of the process of acceptance. You're gonna get to stage 3 in a second, and I'll tell you what happens. So the first thing what happens when you tell somebody that you don't know, or they don't know you, and this drinking thing goes on, they start telling you like, no way that you don't drink, it can't be possible. So first is the disbelief. Yeah, so they start telling you that there is no way you never drank it, or like, I mean, I drank, I tried it, I don't liked it, and since then, I don't know, it's been a bunch of years, I don't do it anymore. And it probably goes back to like university, no, even before university, like high school times. I already didn't like it, so first stage is the disbelief stage, like, no way you don't drink, and like, no, I'm not gonna drink, and then they see me not drinking, and it's like their brain is trying to process that. So then starts stage 2, like, yeah, I'm gonna change that, like, I'm gonna correct that, I'm gonna start doing it, and then they just get hit by my rock solid position of, no, you're not gonna do it because I don't like it. So the second stage is to convince me, which they fail always. So stage 2, yes, they start to go with the, yeah, you should try this, you should try that, just a little bit, I mean, come on, we're all together, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Like, no, I'm fine, I'm completely fine. In fact, I have a joke that water is a stronger drink than any alcoholic drink, just because, well, if you go into chemistry, if you go into chemistry, water has hydrogen bridges, that's why water sticks together, right? Alcohol doesn't have that, so you could say that water is a stronger drink because it sticks together, you know. It's like a highly complex joke, but in a certain way it works. So there goes that. So that's the second stage where they try to convince me. So the first one is the disbelief, the second one is to try to convince me, and the third stage is always the defeat, their defeat. And it's like after a while they'll go quiet, and then they'll say, you're doing the right thing, keep being like you are, and I know, and I'm like, yes, I know. And I just go, so this is the 3 stages that every person go by when I tell them and they don't know, and I'll tell them like, yes, I don't drink. But it's really funny because it's almost mathematical. It happens all the time. Also, we've been cruising quite nicely along these clouds here. Not too bad. Not too bad. And top of descent has appeared 240 miles away. So here is what I suggest, guys, to do. We still have a little bit to go. And oh boy, it's broken at 500. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. I mean, broken at 500 is still okay-ish. I think it's kind of like it's very close to the limits of what should be the planning criteria, but when we left, oh man, I need to remember, I need to revise this. Like, considering planning criteria, there is a certain amount of margin that you have to have when assessing a weather situation. So let me check here my document. If I go to planning, I don't know if I exactly looked it for proper arrival airport. I just looked it for destination. Okay, so destination alternate airport. Yeah, destination is fine, but what about no destination? Well, that's not gonna be our case exactly, but it's plus plus 500 feet. I think it's at least 2,000 feet or circling height plus 500 feet, whichever is greater. Yeah, it's not going to be for us, for sure. I need to see... Yeah, this is something I need to add. I need to add planning criteria for a destination aerodrome. Anyways, what I'm saying here is, and this is important, guys, so check this out. We have 2 runways, right, in our destination airport, runway 12 and runway 30. Right now, the wind is actually favorable for running 30, but yesterday when I was doing this flight, the wind was actually being favorable for runway 12. But if you go and you look for runway 12 approaches, the highest precision approach goes down, well, this is the localizer. A localizer goes 556 feet above threshold elevation. So right now, the weather is stating that there's broken clouds at 500 feet, which means that much probably, if we would be doing this approach, I know it's broken, so it's like a possibility, if we would be doing this approach into Vagar, at our minimus, and because this is an MDA, we would be still adding 50 feet of operational margin. Will be like, the minimus would be at 600 feet. We would not be in visual contact with the runway, because the ceiling is at 500 feet AGL and the minimums are at 600 feet above threshold level. So this is something that we need to take into consideration very, very carefully. Of course, we do have an authorization required approach, and the minimus goes significantly lower. They go to 330 feet, which are much better, but still, you are only within 200 feet from the ceiling. So yeah, and yesterday I would be actually considering doing ILS with a tiny bit of tailwind component, just the minimal. I accessed the weather and the landing calculations, and it was fine. Today, luckily, because the wind is actually favorable for runway 30, it's basically kind of a, I mean, it's basically like a direct crosswind at this moment, to be fair. 21011, we have 302. What's the I also need to remember that this is true and this is magnetic, so it can be a little bit different. Would be great if we could get, okay, 4 west is the magnetic variation, so only 4 degrees of difference. Yeah, we'll basically land with a crosswind. So today, not that much significant. But this is something we would need to take into consideration, and yesterday, especially with the visibility, that was significant. Luckily for this side, this is an ILS. An ILS has a bit more precision than an RNP, and that's why the minimus are slightly lower, 240 feet for Cat Charlie, which this is what we are, and missed approach climb gradient minimum 5%, to which we also comply. So today I feel confident that we will be able to go until the very end, very, very calmly, even if the weather goes down. And the weather has been going down, to be fair. When we were in Copenhagen, it was broken 800, and now there's broken 500, so it's going down. And the remark with broken 900 was 1000, and it's still going down as well. So temperature is gonna get lower, the dew point is gonna probably stay, and when temperature and dew point coincide, you know what happens? The air gets saturated and it starts to condensate, and so you start to get fog, lower visibility, higher humidity, all of that stuff, which is well, is significant because we have requirements for both ceiling and RVR 800 feet. I mean, we could also look at this point to the to like the approach itself. We'll be arriving via Robur. This airport does not have stars, so we'll just basically go direct to Robur, 4,000 feet, which is great because I initially was watching a waypoint Sudur, and you have to go at 4,000 feet basically all across here, and it takes a little bit of time just burning all that extra fuel. So arriving from Trober at 4,000 is great because we have 10 miles to slow down, configure, and we also have the speed restrictions here, max to 30 knots. And then I believe there would be a speed restriction around Victor Golf 904, max 160 knots. I don't know why, but I would assume that's because of the terrain. Because there is some terrain around this, and we are essentially entering a small valley. And it actually is quite bumpy there. You need to pay attention very much to what's happening with your vertical speed and whether you are deviating or not and doing the right corrections. So yeah. Oh, Shay2P, hey! How are you? I hope you're doing well, man. Welcome. We're just looking at the procedure here. What are we going to be doing? So yeah, we could also see that the MSA is 4,000 feet in the area. That's why everything here is at 4,000 feet. So at 4,000 feet, looking nice and above everything, which is great. The climb gradient, we checked that. Airport is sitting at 9 hectopascal. That's how much in feet? 280, runway 235. Now, scenery-wise, with the ortho patch, we actually get the correct slope on the runway. It's not just a flat runway, but it really does have the sloped runway, which is really, really neat, and that helps us to slow down quite nicely coming up from runway 30, so that's good. Also, the missed approach is quite interesting because we essentially go into this track, we join the waypoint magni, which can also be as a missed approach. An initial approach fix, and we can from there proceed basically on the procedure. So transition to missed approach, RNP for lateral guidance must not be initialized prior to a long track position of the decision altitude. Max to 50 knots below flight level 100, procedure restricted to aircrafts with a wingspan less than 40 meters, which I think the Airbus does. Flight slope fluctuations, let's actually check that. .31 meters, yes, good. Glide slope fluctuations may occur, especially between 3 DME and 6 DME. Impact may vary depending on the type of aircraft, and that's probably, I would assume, due to the terrain, because the signal gets a little bit bent by the terrain. It's called scalloping. The glide slope, by the way, is 3.5 degrees, so it's not at 3 degrees, so the set is going to be a little bit steeper. I'm coming into approach at a speed of around 140 as a ground speed. This gives us 867 feet per minute descent rather than the minus 700 feet a minute that we usually have. We've got a high intensity approach lighting system with PAPIs on both sides, which is good. And yeah, for us, I mean, our VR is going to be 800 visibility, so right now the visibility is more than 10. No problems with that. Ceiling with 240 above threshold level. No problem with that, so I think it's going to be a more or less calm approach. The wind is pretty good. It's not gusting. Might be a little bit variable. And I probably think it's still going to be a little bit challenging to go there just because of the fact that the wind is going to change with all that terrain surrounding the airfield. So we'll see how that goes, but yeah, overall pretty fine. 160 miles to go. So far so good. So far so good. ShayTP, yeah, that was almost a briefing, to be fair. Yeah, we studied a little bit. Oh, and you know what, actually, even more, if we go to reference, no taxi, we go here to general. Taxi parking information is not really applicable to us. This is departure. Do we have arrival? No arrivals here. runway is pretty much straightforward. I do think if we land at the beginning of the runway, we'll be able to vacate without doing the backtrack, so we'll see how that goes, but I'm pretty sure. Birds in the vicinity of the aerodrome in connection with strong southwesterly winds. Strong whirls may be created, which will affect approaches to runway 12 and departures to runway 30. These whirls occur especially in the area around DME 2 to DME 3.5 during the same wind situation. Strong whirls may be created at short final to runway 30. Now, we're not exactly southwesterly winds today, it's more like southern from the south, but yeah, still, there is definitely something happening on the approach. Now, there are these two extra documents here regarding wind, weather, and turbulence conditions. And let's just have a read through this very quickly. So, turbulence warning and restrictions during approach and departure from Vagar Airport. Turbulence can be expected at some wind direction and velocity. Pilot in command is requested to familiarize himself with the weather conditions and turbulence indications described in the wind roses and in the mandatory familiarization program regarding wind, turbulence, and geographical conditions for Vagar Aerodrome, and to communicate with Vagar AFIS for updated weather conditions prior to operations of Vagar Aerodrome. Nice. By the way, checking this out, Vagar AFIS, AFIS, because that's Gulf airspace. If we would be checking this, procedures in airspace classified Gulf. Gulf means uncontrolled airspace. That means we don't have controlled ATC controlling us, doing whatnot. So we just give information, and they will reply to us with information like, okay, there's traffic on the pattern, or the wind is this, or is the runway free. But then it's us who decide whether we are going to land or not, or what are we going to be doing. Did you check the airport briefing arrival page? There was no arrival page. We had departure here, general, departure, and then you have takeoffs here, and that's why I'm rating these ones. The rest is going to be basically VFR. There's also no ref, and there's no extra stuff here, and no stars, so this is kind of what I have. That's why I was reading this. The given wind direction, wind velocity for runways used and measured near the runway touchdown zones. These locations are referred to as Whiskey 12 and Whiskey 30. The measurements are recorded as 2 minutes mean wind at runway 12 and runway 30. Furthermore, the given wind direction and wind velocity, called Whiskey Skate, is also measured on the mountain of Skadin, like I told you, located at 1,100 MSL, approximately 1.9 miles west of Vagar Aerodrome, Whiskey Skate. And that's why if we go here to the wind Skate 230, 12 knots and variable. Good. Immediately to the right of the final approach track, runway 12. This location is referred to as W Skate. The wind reading in this location on the mountain will often be under influence of turbulence in the surrounding terrain. The measurements of the mountain of skating are reported as 10 minutes mean wind. Very interesting. Turbulence indicators and weather conditions. Pilots are always responsible to pay attention to the turbulence based on observations and latest weather update, even when the airport is open for operations. Severe turbulence can occur for all flight tracks to and from Vagar Aerodrome. If the wind direction at 5,000 is 160 to 230 or 350 to 090, the velocity at or above 50 knots measured by the aircraft systems, it is a strong indicator of severe turbulence to be expected during approach runway 12. Okay? Probably the wind is going to be between these, actually. And if we watch our jet stream situation, it's not too far, you know, it's definitely not too far. If I go to wind barbs and I put a lower level, let's put 5,000. Yeah, 30 knots. So it's 30 knots, not as significant, but still. If wind at Whiskey Skate is recorded at variable more than 20 degrees from 160 to 270, 340, 060, velocity more than 40 knots, it's often an indication of a highly increased risk of wind shear and severe turbulence on the approach runway 12 and on departure runway 30. For details, see wind roses. Southwesterly winds exceeding 27 knots and northeasterly winds exceeding 37 knots. Okay, so southwesterly, it's from where it's coming, exceeding 27, measured on the runway Whiskey 12 or Whiskey 30, a strong indicator of severe turbulence on departure. Okay, so not like this. Southeasterly or southwesterly winds exceeding 40 knots measured. Okay, 40 knots not applicable to us. Waterfall approach 130, waterfall departure runway 120 permitted for approved RNPAR procedures, which we comply. Certain weather conditions, such as the combination of the above mentioned wind around Whiskey position for around 5,000, air mass composition passing weather fronts and moderate severe horizontal rotor phenomena in Sorvagur Fjord. Whirls may be created at various locations in Sorvagur Fjord, especially in the area around 2 to 3.5 DME Sierra Foxtrot. Speed drop and increase can be expected under certain conditions during the approach and departure, and in strong winds down the runway, downdrafts can be expected on short final at both runway ends. Actually, something close to downdraft was felt to me yesterday, but the wind was like twice the strength that it was today. So yeah, and just to tell you, it was a terrible landing. I'm glad it wasn't on the stream. Warning: landing and departure during such weather conditions require great caution and should only be considered by pilots with extensive experience in operating on Vagar aerodrome. Of course, I'm that guy. I never flew there. I'm joking. Jesus. Turbulence warning system. Okay. Turbulence status by the AFIS. Restrictions. Not permitted when the wind direction velocity for runway used indicates red turbulence. Okay, so we don't have that. Wind tables, wind roses. Wind tables indicate expected turbulence level for rate turbulence category Mike. Values of wind tables are established upon experience from aircraft type 737s, Avros. Oh, interesting. And 319. Warning for smaller light aircraft types category light. The wind table does be used with extra caution. Makes sense. Let's continue. Oh, okay, so this is like wind strength and direction. So for us, the wind direction is 210 at 11, which is like, this is 510, so roughly here. So we are in the brown area, and the brown is moderate. But this is arrival 12, departure 30, arrival 30, departure 12. So let's check here, 210. Yeah, it's in the brown, it's moderate turbulence. Wow, okay, so even with 11 knots, we get into moderate turbulence with this wind direction. Damn, this is gonna be cool. I mean, this is not gonna be cool, this is gonna be fun. For you guys, not for me. Alright, okay, I need to go very quickly to the toilet. You guys watch the plane for me, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so nothing happened. Well done. You and Susie have been watching the cockpit, so let's start inputting some stuff actually in preparation for the approach, and then we're gonna do our arrival briefing. So wind is 210 at 11. We will do with that. Temperature is 10. QNH 1019er. Barrow Minimus for ILS approach. Runway 30 with the best flying gradient is 475. Barrow. Now, VAP, we'll do flaps full for now. Auto brake medium, of course. And what's the fuel situation very quickly? So, we've burned 3,490 plus 5,280, and that gives me exactly the same fuel. Fantastic. Good. Because we are very GPS dependent in Vagar, we have to check the predictive GPS, so we can confirm that we have GPS on the estimated time of arrival. I could also check, for example, at Robur, which is the waypoint we'll be flying at. Did I insert it incorrectly? Probably yes. Yeah, there we go. And the ETA here is 1937. And we also have GPS there, so we check the rain, that's important. Minimas are set, auto brake is set. Let's check here regarding the winds. So I'll do reset. Winds, here it says 220 at 11. Temperature, no, this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. Okay, if I just compute with the auto brake low, it's not going to be enough. So I'm going to do medium. And the margin for us is 464 meters, which is great. It's actually plenty of margin, so if we float a little bit, we will still have time to slow down. Also, the wind is effectively 11 knots crosswind, direct crosswind. So that's good as well. And just for the sake of it, I'm going to put Robur here. We have plenty of headwind, so that's why I'm not going to do any wind or speed compensation. But I want to see how much distance we're going to need for the descent. So 38 minus 4, because we want to be at 4 at Robur. It's going to be 34 times 3, 102. So flight plan, go, oops. 102 radius, and basically it fits exactly on the top of the descent. Top of the descent is even a little bit further. So with this kind of wind, that seems nice. Okay, good. Chat. ShadeTP, you use the Lido charts. How do you like them? You're probably using them from the Microsoft Flight Sim. Those are... I'm actually very curious on the Lido charts, but I can't get them unless I buy Microsoft Flight Sim. HD Sim, stopping by with the like. HD Sim, great to see you here. I hope you were good. Thank you very much for your like. Very appreciated. I hope you're doing good and continuing with your flight streams as well. Bella Gastel, why selected speed? Because we are in a quite significant jet stream with basically a headwind component of 106 knots. And I want to get a little bit faster, so I prefer to spend 200 kilos of extra fuel, but get there a tiny bit faster. Just because of that. ShadeTP, by the way, I've seen you like the MSFS Cloudscape. You can always try out Microsoft Flight Sim. I did. I honestly liked that very much. It was amazing. That picture was incredible. But, you know, I spent 120 euros on the Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and it never ever worked on me. So I refuse to pay money to them again. Basically, that's it. Unless I get Microsoft Flight Sim by another way, which might happen sometime in the future, but not right now. And also, I know it's a pain to set up, so I don't know. Ekaterina, hi everyone, welcome. How are you doing? Synchronous fire still in the air. Oh, well, that's good. That's a good start. Alright guys, we have less than 80 miles till top of descent, so my suggestion for you is let's do an arrival briefing, okay? Because we already analyzed the weather situation. We already know that we can expect some moderate turbulence on the approach. We already planned our minimus. We already know our MSA. We know our missed approach. We know what type of approach is going to be, light, slow, all that stuff. We know where we're going to be vacating, and we already accessed the landing distance as well, and we checked the rain. And what is the rain? I'll talk in a little bit, or if anybody knows what's the rain, you guys write that in chat. But for me, I'm going to start the arrival briefing, so if you're ready, let's go for it. So far, everything is fine, even though I have random faults on. This flight has been pretty calm, and that's wonderful. The weather, latest report in Vagar states wind at 210 knots, good visibility, broken at 800. Oh, sudden improvement. Very cool. And wind at Skate, oh boy, look at that, 240 at 7, gusting 20, and variable between 160 and 330. It's gonna be bumpy, alright? No temps were checked, anti-ice might be required, and very highly will be required because the temperature is below 10 degrees. We will get into clouds, and you also remember that when accessing the SIGMATS charts on our departure there was an icing area, so as soon as we dip down into the clouds I'll probably anticipate that we'll need some icing. Alright, top of descent is gonna be managed by the airplane, and it's coming up in 66 miles. We don't have a star. We're jumping directly to the final approach for runway 30 on page 11-3, effective from the 16th of May. We'll be approaching from Robur 4000, which is initial approach fix, which has a maximum speed of 230 knots before the holding, but I will assume probably that speed for us as a mandatory, just so that we can establish ourselves nicely. Or maybe, you know what, actually we can probably disregard that speed because we have 10 miles to slow ourselves down nicely here, so we can just approach there at 250 and then continue. I mean, of course this is Gulf airspace, so for me it would be a possibility. I think it's fine, and that indication there is for the holding. Alright, so yeah, running 30 approach course is going to be 302, frequency 110.3, MSA 4000, airport is sitting at 280 feet, but the runway is at 235. The runway has a quite significant slope, which is going to be significant for our flare, and also it's slightly narrower than the usual runway, so we're going to have the illusion that we are higher than we are, and I need to flare earlier, otherwise we're going to do a very nice bouncer landing, and we don't want that. Okay. In case I've missed, we're going to climb to 4000 by the RNP AR, missed approach, giant magni holding. From there we'll just probably proceed for another approach from that waypoint that can work as an initial approach fix. Alternate fuel, I've put 3.5. We're expected to be arriving with 4.5, so that gives us 30 minutes of playtime. If something happens there, at least one calm missed approach and a second attempt for sure, which is going to be fine. We'll land with flaps full, probably selected speed. I'm not sure I want to use ground speed mini. Auto brake are going to be on medium, and we have a margin of 464 meters until the end of the runway, which is great. We'll vacate via the only taxiway that's available into the apron, and I want to park into position 4. That's going to be my position right there. Alright, special considerations. We are expecting moderate turbulence. There is terrain around the airfield, possible icing, narrow runway, which can give the illusion that we will be a high and then delay the flare, and then we do a hard landing with a bounce, and then we'll have to do a missed approach because probably we'll burn a lot of distance. And that's gonna be probably about it. I will engage the terrain radar on my side and the weather radar on the side of the first officer, just because I think it's gonna be better this way. Other than that, not overweight, diversion fuel 3.5 towards Edinburgh. That seems pretty good. Any questions, guys? If so, let me know. Haha, laranja! Como é que é? Ah, claro que tu sabias. Of course you know. So, a laranja, which means orange in Portuguese. He's a guy from Portugal as well. He's also a pilot. You finished last year, I think. And yes, of course, you know, was receiver autonomous integrity monitoring. Very good, man. I'm glad to see you here. How are you doing? And thank you very much for your wishes to congratulate me. Muito obrigado, pá. Muito obrigado. Falta só o MCC. Falta só o MCC. Vou fazer numa academia na Simnest, em Budapeste, na Hungria. Agora para o mês que vem à partida. E depois vamos ver o que é que aparece por aí. Pá, espero que estejas bem. Que bom ver-te aqui, pá. Alright, so the briefing is complete. We got everything. I don't know if I'm not sure. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. We don't have a descent checklist. So that's nice. And yeah, I can get back to selected speed right now. Or managed speed. Because we're not in a hurry anymore. And I'll probably select the seatbelt sign 2 on already. So the cabin crew gets a little bit more time to preparation. Hope is well with you. We'll crush in the MCC watching your streams. I know it will be a piece of cake to you. Well, I hope so. I hope so. I hope it will be like that. Actually, I'm not sure you catched it, but previously on the live stream I told that they already sent me all the stuff. I'll be doing the basic MCC on the A320. And the guys who do or give the MCC there are basically pilots from a pink company in Europe, which I'm sure you know which one it is. So they will send me all the documentation, and I'll be starting to read that. Because I know that the way I do the flows in the Airbus are a little bit more like standard Airbus flows, which are closer to, I think, EasyJet, for instance, because they're very close. They work very closely with Airbus, from what I know, and the other ones can be slightly different. So yeah. I was in Hungary last month as well, Budapest and Kaloska, but it was for the FE course. Heard a lot of good things about Simnest. Oh! So you are now a flight instructor as well, congratulations. Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, I think those guys do a good job. I'm just thinking if I'm not doing a mistake of not doing the APS, but to be fair, I don't think I am. So yeah. Budapest is a lovely city, we love it. Oh, good. I don't think I'll have a lot of time to visit it though, but I'll try my best. I just really want to do a very, very good job at the MCC. That's like the only thing I want to do, like come there and just do it very nice. So perhaps I get a recommendation letter or something, I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell for sure. But I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. 23 miles till top of the descent. I'm gonna already select here 4,000 feet. We'll see. If you decide to go on the APS later, it will be cheaper because you already have the normal one. Oh, really? Oh, I thought you would need to do it all over again, because from what I heard, okay, maybe because I spoke with a couple of my colleagues and some of them decided to go for the APS, but because they did it in different schools, they essentially had to go and do it all over again. So they paid the full price. But it makes sense. If it's a different school, of course you're gonna do all over again, right? They don't know you. It will be fine, pretty sure we'll crush it. I love the MCC I did. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your opinion. That's very valuable. Because you know, it's like when you are right there and you don't know what's gonna be, and then people around you tell you that, like, don't worry, it's gonna be fine. It's this, you're gonna like it. It's awesome. I'm very excited. I'm more excited than scared, of course. I just wanna do the best, pick the best option for me. But yeah, it's been fun. I really like this livery, guys. I think it's very cool. And also, check this out. I've been flying for 2 hours into the sunset in real time, and we're still into the sunset. This flight in real life would be probably a pain, because you would get the sun in your face, basically, the entire time. 12 miles to go. 12 miles to go, and probably may get a bit darker as we descend. That makes sense. Yeah, I was basing myself in the flight school I went to. Okay, well, it's still good. It's still good. If you get to another, it's probably like you are saying. Yeah, I see. My flight school was supposed to have the MCC, but unfortunately the certification of the simulator is taking longer than it was supposed. I didn't know, but I spoke with the instructor that's taking care of the simulator, and I didn't know this, but apparently the simulators, when they are certified and so on, they are treated almost as real airplanes. So they have their tech log, they have their navigation log, you count the hours, they have mandatory maintenance. There is like so much in terms of things they have to have, which is like, whoa, wait, is this a real airplane? Suddenly? And with all the complexity of the systems and so on, computers, etc., it's kind of crazy. So yeah, I think they I don't know how much it's gonna take more till it reaches the state of completion, but I'm not gonna get it yet. Alright, descent, starting a little bit early, so that the plane starts that minus 1,000 feet per minute descent, so perhaps we can start leaving our cruise altitude earlier, so we start to lose some of that jet stream, and once we intercept the planned descent, it will follow up through. I want to delete the fixed info because we don't need it now anymore. Just leave it at the progress page. Oh yeah, the registration too. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was crazy. I was not aware it was this complex. I thought it was complex, but in terms of just machinery, you know, bringing all the computers, bringing all the components, make it all work, make it feel like a real airplane. But in terms of just pure bureaucracy, it's incredible. I didn't know really. And after the MCC, I imagine you will get a head start to apply for Wizz Air. To be fair, no. To be fair, they don't do that. At least not that I'm aware of. Nobody told me that. Not even... we have a guy, a great guy by the way, in my flight school. He was one of the first students of the school, and he finished, I think he finished like 2 years ago or something. Great guy. And in fact, he's so incredible, he did the ATPL course and a university course at the same time. So he's like amazing and very, very humble, super friendly. And he also started giving theoretical classes now, which I also, by the way, have been. And I catched him 2 days ago in the school, so I've been talking with him and so on, and he's now flying there, and he told me that no, they just treat everybody the same way, which, to be fair, I think it's just. It's fair, it's better for everyone, so it's cool. The FNPT simulator that my school had, the backend, it was prepared 3D. Oh, on my ones are X-Plane actually, on both. And the funny thing is, they actually have some sceneries that we use here in the sim, so it's really funny to go there, and then it's like, oh wait, I saw this somewhere, and then you remember that, yeah, it's X-Plane. It basically looks exactly the same, which is funny. Every time I go there, I'm thinking like, wait guys, I can improve your sceneries. just give me the chance. I'll improve your sceneries. That's really cool. Let me check the weather again. Perhaps we get a new weather report or whatnot. Probably not. 31 minutes ago, still says wind 210. Probably next report is gonna be in an hour. Sorry, not in an hour, but in 30 minutes. Unless they do a new one, but the only thing I kinda feels funny to me is the 2407 gusting at 20 on that mountain. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. That is definitely gonna be cool. Outside of the temps minus 51, so we still have 11 degrees till the anti-ice region. Till the icing region, should I say. Temps are good, no status, everything seems fine. Cabin altitude is good, landing elevation as well. There is the profile for the descent. Thrust to idle. And I want to compare now how much does it does on idle, because look, we were doing that almost, it was like 50% power, and we were burning 510 on the fuel. On the cruise we were burning 950 roughly, so we were burning 440 kilos less. And from that 50% to idle, we're burning 340. So that's minus 200 kilos. So it actually looks like it's somewhat more efficient to start the descent earlier, because you drop the cruise fuel consumption to a lower level before intercepting the idle, if that makes any sense. But apparently it's what some airlines are doing, which is cool. And into the clouds we go. So let's have a glimpse of blue sky for the last time before we fly into it again. Oh, the jet stream actually got worse. 129. Well, I didn't check at what altitude was the core, so that maybe makes sense. And it's getting worse. Damn. And also, let me see, weather, Robur, flight level 065. Oh, it's actually not fixing the 4000 there. Decel, and then it goes down. Okay, so I can take that, no problem. Gonna save even more fuel this way. Alright, into the clouds, static air temp minus 39. Suddenly it got way cold, way hotter, so engine anti-ice is gonna come on. And into the bumps we go. I'll do constraint mode on. Constraint mode on here as well, and we'll do range 40 on the first officer side, with the weather radar on. I really like the Airbus. What a beautiful airplane. And I'm really anticipating that I'm just gonna be smashing the runway. Very hard. The speed at Victor Golf 907 though. Oh, it's higher. Okay, what about the speed at 90 max 160? Speed constraint. I want to force the 160, please. Could that be because this is something I need to ask myself and search for what does it mean? The stars, the yellow stars. Let's go roper and force it to be at 5,000. Alright, wind's starting to drop, it's getting darker. Nothing on the weather radar. So far, even if I put this to maximum. Yep, nothing. Alright. It's at level 50. 50 is blue. Outside view. Fantastic weather. I think this could be a perfect thumbnail picture. Oh god. Another cool feature Toliss could have done is to put ice accumulation on this rod. Yeah, anti-ice is on. Engine anti-ice is on, for sure. I know it says ice not detected right now, but we are in the icing conditions. I can disengage it for now for a little bit. But we are essentially in the temperature area and in visible moisture, so almost feels a little bit scary, this weather. Now we still have 100 knots of headwind. And back into the soup. Is this gonna be just for a little bit or not? I don't know. But I'm gonna put engine anti-ice on again. Feels like we can't see a glimpse of water. Oh yeah, that's a boat there. Okay, so we'll keep the engine anti-ice on for now. Oh, and by the way, just for safety reasons, let me just recalculate this. Auto brake medium, and I'll add 2 knots here, and anti-ice on the engine compute. Okay, so our margin gets a little bit smaller. Not by much, but it gets a little bit smaller. Alright, clear. Actually quite beautiful. Wow. Wow. Let's see here. Performance phase. Transition flight level is incorrect. Should be 085. Better. Better now. 1 hour and 54. We really spent a lot of time on this flight. What was the air time that Sim Brief gave us? 2 hours and 9 minutes. I don't think we're gonna get under 2 hours and 9 minutes. Considering that we are expecting to be arriving at 46, and that's in 16 minutes, and we've been up... Yeah, it's like... I don't know. Outside view. That's sun spotlight. It's quite nice. Not too bad, the weather. And let's see, latest update. 10 minutes ago. Wind 210 at 9. That's good. Let's update it. 210 at 9. Visibility more than 10. Broken at 500. Again, broken at 7,700. Temperature 9. Dew point 9. You guys remember what I told you, that the dew point or the temp I'm going to be descending. QNH 1019. Still. Wind at that mountain 230 at 8 knots. Alright, so at least it seems like we are out, or like barely on the moderate turbulence, which is good. But also I feel like I will need to check the weather in X-Plane because it can be different. Right now it's slightly different. 22011 broken 6 10 dew point 8 1019. Not sure what is happening there exactly. ShaTP, wait, you will apply for Wizz Air? If they will be hiring, yes, I will. Of course. Of course I will. Alright, you know what? I want to do vertical speed, my speed. Let's do 250 here. And let's keep this vertical speed. Let it decelerate slowly. What are your other options? ShaTP, I don't know. I haven't yet looked very much, but not a lot of places are looking, or not a lot of places are recruiting at this moment. So, yeah. German Sim Aviation, the sky looks amazing, better than in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. That's good to hear, because I don't fly in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, and sometimes some people post some pictures from 2024 and they look amazing, like properly amazing in terms of realism. I know that it doesn't work like that all the times, but yeah, it's great to know. Thank you. I don't mind the speed increase. ShaTP, what am I considering? Dude, any airline, to be honest. I have a couple which are, of course, my preference, but I just don't want to say it out loud. Oli, I just started my new job as at Wizz Air as a cabin crew. Oh really? Congratulations! 10,000 feet. Lights are gonna come on. I'm gonna put wing lights on as well because the weather might deteriorate. Jesus Christ. And LS push buttons on. And we should have a climbing traffic here. Maybe in the clouds already. Yeah, probably climbed out. I will sometimes look at the pilot jobs network just for the reference of salaries. Shay TP. I say, to be honest, it's a very important part, the salaries, but I'm more interested in the working part than the salaries, so yeah. Привет, Papa. My dad's watching as well. Hi, Dad. The haze in the sky looks better at all. Also, the softness of the clouds. Yeah, I see. This one looks very, very realistic. And the haze, of course, that is for sure. That is for sure. Alright, there's transition altitude. So let's go QNH 1019 on 1, 2, and 3. And it's reading the same approach. Checklist, barrel ref 1019 set on both sides. Seatbelts are on. Minimum 475 set. Auto brake medium. Mode selector is normal. Approach checklist is complete. I was thinking for a second, did I switch off the engine NTIs? But yes, it was. We do have a traffic coming up there. 415. Let's slow down and let him go ahead, because I'm not sure how fast is he flying. But he's definitely on the other approach, and he's also Atlantic Airways. Let's set 4,000 here. And do a shallower descent. With minus 700, this is perfect. Just let him go by. The view is fantastic, guys. What is going on here? Outside view. Would you look at that? Holy cow. That just got worse. Oh, come on. I was just doing my picture here. It is looking fantastic. Alright, we are on speed. It's 10 miles ahead of us. I hope he starts turning towards the runway. Like our traffic for line 455, passing 6,400 feet, descending to 4,000 inbound ILS, approach runway 30. We are 3 miles from Robur, speed 220 knots. I think I need to slow down even further.
So I got traffic on line 415 at 4,000 feet, establish an ILS 30 in 1 minute.
Copy. Could you advise your speed, please? Just for separation.
Actually at 190 knots and continue to treat it.
Cockpit will slow down to 190 knots for separation. Barrel line 455, thank you.
For Jerry line of 415, thank you.
Alright, slow down to 190. Skyscape is beautiful. I was not expecting it to be this beautiful, but holy cow. I need to take some pictures. Screenshot. Holy shit, would you look at that? Screenshot. 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 Yeah, I'll be 100% redoing the thumbnail. Alright, we're flaps 1, we'll keep flaps 1 speed, and I'll activate the approach phase. Confirm. VAP 132, 132 sounds good. Also got localizer live. I'll wait until we get a little bit further. Outside our temp is 0. Ah, that was just the scenery loading. Total air temp plus 4, sounds good. Cabin crew, wait. Cabin crew prepare for landing. Thank you. Best of luck for you. Are you looking at airlines cadet programs, or are you qualified and looking for a job? Yeah, I just finished my CPL 2 weeks ago, so I'll be doing the MCC in Budapest at an academy called Simnest, and from there I'll be looking for a job. So, yep. Dude, enjoy it. It's awesome when somebody progresses in their life. It's very, very cool. Мягкой посадки. Спасибо, РФС, Airbus. Надо было тебе все-таки полететь, не побояться. Slow power. Oh, I'm late. No, you're just in time for this beautiful approach into Vagar. It's looking fantastic. It's looking really good, I have to say. 500 feet till level off. Alright, he should be starting to slow down, so we'll be slowing down as well. To 160, speed is checked. Let's go flaps 2. And approach activated. Lock cat 3 single. Beautiful. Alright, 4.4 on the fuel. Remember, 3.5 is our diversion. So we have slightly less than actually 30 minutes, which is okay. Slow power, I took a break from flying 2 days, been flying too much.
Target traffic, Faroe Islands 415 landing runway 30, calibrac 10 runway is vacated.
Roger that, thank you very much. We are 13 miles out at 160 speed, 4,000 feet. Faroe line 455. Altitude? Yeah, sometimes you need a little bit of break. I actually missed flying. It's been the entire week out of home, so yeah. РФС Airbus, Дэп не выдержал гнева диспетчера, я не понимаю фразы тяжелые, только базу. Не волнуйся. Они должны понимать, что есть люди, которые еще учатся, поэтому. Чего, еще потом полетаем вместе. Nice view, no one needs Microsoft Flight Sim. Yep. Glide slope's alive. Oli, oh wow, congratulations. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. And we've got the runway lights inside already, which is fantastic. It's actually beautiful. Holy cow, this is the first time I'm properly seeing the scenery, because I only tested the airport and it was with real weather, Glide Slope Star. And yeah, I didn't look much out of it. Alright, glide slope, missed approach altitude 4,000 feet is set. We'll assume 2,000 feet as 2,000 feet AGL is going to be 2,000. We'll do 2,300 from here.
2,500.
That's checked.
2,000.
On final, yes.
Target traffic Faroe Islands 415, runway 30 is vacated.
Thank you very much. And Faroe Line 455 for Vagar traffic is 7.7 miles out on the ILS 30.
Have a good ending, Faroe Islands.
Thank you. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Screenshot. Screenshot. Alright, until 2,300. That's 2,500. Just so the speed has time to stabilize. Yeah, no broken at 500 feet.
2,500.
AGL. Alright, there's go. Speed set, gear down. Speed brakes armed. Lights on. Speed is checked. Flaps 3. And flaps full. Landing checklist. Go around altitude.
2,000.
5,000, correction, 4,000 feet set. Cabin crew is advised. Eco memo, landing no blue. Landing checklist is complete. Alright guys, everybody. Wish me a good landing. I already see the airplane's very slightly rocking the wings, and look at this, 21 knots. And we are 2,000 feet AGL. Wow. I need to take some pictures.
1,000.
We are stable. Let's go autopilot off. Get a feeling of the airplane. Cat 1. Okay, remember the runway is narrow. And just watch that descent, right? I think as soon as we get over the water there, we're gonna have a sink. A little bit of a sink there. Or maybe not a sink, but an updraft, we'll see. Feels like I'm super high.
500.
And that's an updraft. Alright, wind speed has decreased, that's good. Ah, there's a sink rate.
100 above.
Land.
$300. Minimum.
Continue.
$200. 100. 50.
Terrain.
40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard. 10. 5.
Speed rake up. Reverse is green. Brake medium. 70 knots. Reverse is out. Manual braking.
Auto brake off.
Whew. Okay, not too bad. Chrono on. Start the APU. That happened quick. Alright, 2 hours and 12 minutes. So 3 minutes late. I'll take that. Transponder to transponding, brake fan on, APU on. The weather was much better than I was expecting. The guard traffic, Faroe line 455, running 30 vacated. After landing is complete, let's go for position number 4. Awesome, and an A320 there with CFM engines. There's number 4. I don't think that was a hard landing. That was a good landing. Don't forget that the runway's upslope. It is short, and you either land there or you don't. Lights off, APU on. Ah man, I trust my position. Parking brake is set. Let's wait until 2 minutes for the engines to cool down. I didn't overheat the brakes, which is good. And there's 2 minutes. APU on. Fuel pumps off. below 5% N1, beacon off. Transponder, standby 2000. And parking checklist. Parking brake or chocks. Brakes are set, chocks are set, engines off, wing lights off, fuel pumps off, and external power on, IP off. Parking checklist is complete. Woohoo! That was great. Unlock the door. It's kind of dark here. Kind of still dark. Yay! Wait, I want to take a picture with this guy as well. Oh, wow. It's looking really good. Very good. Screenshot. And screenshot again. Screenshot. This is gonna be a new thumbnail, pretty sure. Whew. Alright guys, that was cool. It looked rough. We need to see the replay. AP bleed needs to be on or you will be breathing in the engine fumes, I think. What do you mean? I don't think so. I was giving time as well for the EPU to be powered. They don't turn on the EPU just like that. Alright, let's watch the replay then. This was actually great. Oh, wait. Are we getting some better light there now? Oh, yeah, we are. We are. So, one more screenshot. Just like that. And let's watch the replay then. About there. So, let's set a spotting cam position. I think... yeah, I think we could be here. Seems like a good place to watch. Alright, let's see. No landing lights. A little bit okay. A little bit of bouncy. Let's try again. Just want to see it again. Should have flared harder. Not too bad. I'll take it. I will take it. I'll absolutely take that. Alright guys, you know what? I'm gonna leave here with the replay of the landing from the wing view because I just think it's so beautiful. This approach. Just look at this. Let me take the time to take another screenshot because it's just fantastic. Just like this. And I'll leave you with the wing view of the landing. From about... probably from about here... or there. Yeah, I think from here should be fine. So, and in the meanwhile, I'll say thank you everybody for coming here to the live stream. I want to do an extra live stream this weekend, during this weekend, sorry, not this weekend, sorry, during the next week, something like Wednesday perhaps, and then do the other one on the weekend. Of course, I'll keep you posted on the time when I'll go to Budapest to do my MCC. And yeah, I think until then we'll be talking on Discord. I believe soon we will also do that very long group flight. Not the long, but very large group flight that I want to do in New Zealand. So you guys will be invited for all of that, but I still need to plan it accordingly and do the documentation, all that stuff. We even should have some air traffic control, which is amazing. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed this fun flight into Vagar, to the Faroe Islands. The scenery, tile, is on the description of the channel, so if you go down there and you want to have the runway with the correct profile, the correct curve and all of that, you can download it from there. I'm not sending you the patch just because I didn't do it, so I don't feel good sharing it with you without proper authorization, but I can do the tile, so you can leave a comment to the guy that did the patch so that he uploads just the patch, so you can do your own tile. You just remember that you will need to download the elevation file, the high resolution one. But yeah, until then guys, thank you very much. I wish you a great start of the week, and even before that, a great rest of the weekend. Take care. Thank you very much for being here. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.